Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series, race number 9, as the drivers get off of Bristol after the past 2 weeks. And now we come out to the desert, Las Vegas, where drivers are pack racing, figuring out how to stay out front, find that luck. We'll see how they can get it done. And welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150 here at Las Vegas as the drivers are getting prepared. Want to give big thanks to our sponsors for the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. That at Race Car Graveyard, their title sponsor for the Truck Series. If you're looking to get yourself into diecast collecting, they've got you covered. Anything from that of 1/24th ratios to 1/64th ratio NASCAR diecast, they are available. New, used, and custom, they've got you. And right now, if you go use the promo code RCGY, you can receive 10% off on your next purchase. Thank you to that at Race Car Graveyard. And as well, our Rookie of the Year award, going to be Hot Lap Designs. With some of the most affordable schemes on the market, Hot Lap Designs offers high-quality custom paint schemes, driver suits, and helmets. Hot Lap Designs does everything from that of creating old NASCAR schemes to brand new ones. Hot Lap Designs and also new ones designed by you. Dirt, oval, asphalt, they also have road course cars for it. It doesn't matter. Hot Lap Designs can do it. As the drivers are getting ready, it is again your welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150 here tonight. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Zach Hall, and as well Robert Moyer running all the productions in the background. Zach, we just came off of 2 Bristol races of short track madness. Now we're getting back to what we call traditional racing at 1.5 mile racing. There's a little bit of cash on the line.
Yeah, a little bit of cash on the line here. Got the MoCast 5 here tonight here at this racetrack in Las Vegas. And what a place to do it. You know, they're giving out money here at Las Vegas. These guys are going to be gambling with some of these moves they're going to be making. And it's going to be the top 5 drivers from our Atlanta race, 3rd race of the season here earlier in the Truck Series here. And that's going to be Eric Stamp, Danny Cochran, Isaac Shelley, Aaron Kralik, and Paul Bragoli there. It's going to be one of those 5 possibly trying to go out there and get the win. Because that's the thing. It's not just who can – be the top of that group. They have to go out there and get the win tonight to get that money.
Yeah, and if you look at that list, there's a couple of drivers that look fast. I mean, Danny Cochran, he's won at Chicagoland, the last 1.5 miles that we ran for this series. Also, you could think of that of Aaron Kralik, who's been looking mighty quick for himself. Isaac Shelley's been looking fast. I think if you look at Paul Bragoli, he might be the underdog of all the 5 here, but Eric Stamp with strategy won at Atlanta. It might be a strategy call here tonight at Las Vegas, but we got ourselves less than 1.5 minutes left here in practice. But Zach, been watching practice. It has been, when drivers are by themselves, they've been figuring out this track quite well. But when they're in a large pack, it has been almost a bomb ready to tick and go kaboom. These drivers, they're going to have a handful racing around one another and each other.
Yeah, this track here at Las Vegas is very, very difficult, first of all, to get around by yourself. Very bumpy. Very low grip also, but as the nighttime comes in, as we have the sun going down, that grip level picks up, the speeds also pick up here, and that's where you're going to see a lot of pack racing. When these guys get up in a pack, the draft is going to be king. So it's going to be who can get out front, manage the lanes, and stay out front there because, like you said, at any moment, it's a ticking time bomb out there ready to explode. And when it happens, you got to be hopefully up front out of that destruction there. So what will these drivers try to do here tonight? As we look there at John Forbes, what a role he's been on.
Absolute stunning. As also the drivers have found out they can make these trucks go sky high if you hit them in the right place here during practice. But John Forbes, he has been the man of the hour. First 8 races of this season, he's won 4 of those races, trying to win his 5th of the season here. The 11 going to be one of the favorites to watch out for sure. And Zach, we'll look back to season 1. John Forbes certainly was a driver that was contending for wins, might have had some bad luck, never got the win, but this 11, he has found a completely new groove as practice comes to a close.
Oh, no doubt. John Forbes is really propelling himself. They're propelling themselves into the area as we head off into into qualified from the practice session. But yeah, back to John Forbes. I mean, like we said, we expected a lot from him coming back from last season. He was a very top contender there, but man, he's just stepped it up to a whole different level. And he's definitely been, I think, the one to watch for coming in here tonight. Can he continue this trend here of him winning these 3 races in a row?
He's open to go for 4th in a row, 5th for this season is John Forbes as the track is getting prepared for qualifying. Drivers going to have 5 minutes to put down their fastest lap out of 2 laps. As you see there, Aaron Kralick's going to be hitting the course for the 0-1. One of our MoCast 5 drivers to watch out for here tonight. And qualifying up front certainly seems to be the key for these drivers here, Zach, but the draft's not going to be here for the qualifying. What's the key to put down some of these fast laps here?
Well, you're seeing right there, basically Aaron Kralick. You can see he's running that top groove there coming out of 3. Now going to cut it here down to the bottom groove. We'll see what he elects to do. Does he elect to take the first or the second lap here? As we'll see, where is he running the groove? He'll be actually going lower, so it looks like he'll take his time lap on this first lap. This could be the way to go. Have a little bit cooler tires, maybe a little bit more speed as he rolls down the back straightaway here. He's probably going to go right back to the bottom here. Unless he's trying to build speed for the second lap, he'll go to the top, and that's what he's doing. Yeah, building speed here for this second lap, and that's what you're trying to do. It's wide open. You want to build up as much speed as you possibly can so you take the longest way around the racetrack.
It's a big thing, being wide open, as you're going to see drivers with their first laps coming across the line. It's going to be Trenton Jump, going to be topping the board currently. Jump's been another driver that's been on a tear. Before we saw John Forbes go for 3 wins in a row, it was that Trenton Jump leading the points. We'll see if he can come back, but right now, 0-1. Aaron Kralick going to be doing his best, ducking it down low, trying to get down to that white line, coming through 3 and 4. We'll see what time the 0-1 can put down. Right now, he's got to beat that of going to be Ollie Fonseca, and across the line here, now it's going to be Gregory Shaw topping the board, but there goes the 0-1, then immediately gets toppled by that of Anthony Gaudio.
Yeah, you can see times just keep coming in. John Forbes now to the top of the board, trying to continue his hot streak, as it looks like right now about 17 drivers or possibly around 20 have already taken time here. As now Danny Cochran going to take that top spot. It's just been musical chairs up here, Sam.
In Las Vegas, Danny Cochran, this is going to be a good track for that 2 to watch out for. He has found his way last year very fast at these kind of super speedway-like mile-and-a-half courses, and that's what we're going to be seeing a lot here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, of drivers on top of one another, maximizing their speed, but as well, there's been a ton of rookies that have been showing off. Here's Logan Brakey, who's going to be doing his best to put down a decent time for the 29 Windows machine. And got to say, for a lot of these drivers, this is going to be a marathon of a race. You know, I was talking to them during the practice, and some drivers were saying this could be a long race. 1, because there could be a lot of caution that can be thrown out, but 2, this race, 150 laps that they've got to tackle.
Yeah, this could be one of their longer races, no doubt indeed. Yeah, it's definitely picking up, and more laps equal more chances to make mistakes. And I think that's where drivers start to worry there as they head into these races. And that is where the endurance factor does start to kick in. I mean, yeah, we're sitting in a sim. We're not getting the full effects of the race car where you're in a hot, we're luckily in AC and we have cool conditions to race in. But you do get the force feedback and just the overall driving. It does get tiring, and this track's very bumpy, and you're going to have to be almost just mental fatigue of just being in a pack. That is the one thing I will say. Also, it's 150 laps of just being stacked up on your competition. It gets to you as, man, another time comes in, clicks in. It's Thomas Green going to the top of the board after trying to make a return after last week.
And then as well, following suit, Jared Talmadge, as we've been watching the 17, it's going to be his first lap. Minute left in qualifying for these drivers to put down their last time. Some of the few drivers that are still out on track, as we see here, the 17 of Talmadge, as well as Isaac Shelley in the 98, and as well going to be that of Tribune in the 10. Going to be the 3 drivers still waiting to put down their best times. And here comes the 17, as well as the 98. We'll see if they can best that of Thomas Green across the line. Here comes that of Jared Talmadge. We wait for that ticker to change. Where does he lie? It's going to be 5th for that of Jared Talmadge, but Isaac Shelley top of the board for that pole position.
And what a lap to 31.142. That is a sizable margin here, especially when you're wide open. How do you make differences? It's just he was a little bit smoother, possibly did not scrub the speed like the rest of these drivers did. His line was perfect and built that speed up on that first lap. So great job by Isaac Shelley, and he's one of the MoCast 5. So we'll see if he can start off well here right up front.
Going to be in this 10, coming across the line. Only first lap's going to count as time runs out. And just like that, it is done. Tribune going to be moving up to 25th as Qualifying is done. Gives us a moment to get our qualifying results, sponsored by that of Sac City Diecast. Well, if you didn't get enough diecast from that of Race Car Graveyard, we'll go over to Sac City Diecast. They've also got you covered there. If you go follow them on Instagram at Sac City Diecast on Instagram, you can find them as well on eBay. And if you need to find a variety of drivers, teams, diecast sizes, they've got you covered as well. Again, go follow that of Sac City Diecast on Instagram and look them up on eBay. As it's going to be Isaac Shelley sneaking right at the last minute in the final minute of qualifying, taking the pole position, but it's going to be Thomas Green, who's outside for the 15. Then you're going to have Danny Cochran in third. The 11 of John Forbes takes fourth, with fifth place going to that of Anthony Gaudio. Then you got Jared Talmadge going to be in sixth, with Ethan Smith in seventh, Cody Reed in eighth place, with Thomas Walter and Martin Morales Jr. finishing out your top 10.
In the 11th and 12th starting position, we got two MoCast 5 contenders. That's Eric Stemp, the winner from Atlanta, and Aaron Kralik there in that 12th spot. 13th is going to go to the 47 of John McAdams. 14th is going to be the 35 of Gregory Shaw. 15th is going to be the 24 of Ali Fonseca. Turn jump starting back here in position. 17th is going to go to Ryan Ferraro. 18th is going to be the 21 of Kyle Rochelle. 19th, the 97 Alexander Light, and rounding out that top 20 is Christopher Norris.
Then it's going to be James Loughlin, going to be in 21st. 22nd goes to Jason Tamer, as well as that going to be Bogan in the 36th, going to be in 23rd. Logan Breaking is going to be in 24th. With Tribune in 25th. Dakota Moniz in that of 26th. With that of Irizarry, going to be in 27th. Cody Dorsey is going to be in 28th. Freed in 29th. 30th goes to that of Carl Pooler. With Trevor Earhart, Blake Howell, as well as Jesse Thornick, that of Tyler Dangler, as well as Dylan Walterman. Your 35 trucks set here and ready to go racing at Las Vegas for the Welcome to the Incredible Las Vegas 150 here tonight. And as the drivers are getting ready to roll off, gives us time to give one more thanks to some more sponsors, that of LP24 Clothing. LP24 Clothing is clothing that offers great quality and affordable prices. Whether it's hats, hoodies, t-shirts, beanies, find whatever you're looking for in all that of sizes and colors. Follow at LP24 Clothing on Instagram for more information and make your order today. As Zach, the drivers are rolling off, we're getting ready to go. 34 trucks seem to be on grid. Dylan Walterman might have been missing the grid for himself. So 34 trucks in line, but they were showing during practice these starts can be extremely treacherous if they're not careful.
Yeah, these starts are going to be pretty wild. I think the cold tires are going to catch a few guys off guard here, especially this pace lap here cooling down even more than what they've had in practice. So they're going to have to watch out heading off into 1 and especially off into 3 there as they're stacking up heading down the back straightaway. This is going to be a fun start, but a wild one from the driver's perspective as they look for that lap 70 stage point. It's a far distance. They're going to have to make a pit stop before them.
Sun is setting. The heat on the track might be dropping, but it's about to heat up for these trucks. Who is going to survive? Who's going to find the luck here at Las Vegas? You know you're going to have to gamble and hope for something to strike. And for Isaac Shelley, Thomas Green, they've already struck in. They're up front, leading the way. Pace truck is off. And for the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series, race number 9 of Season 2 is green for the Welcome to the Incredible Las Vegas 150. Will one of our MoCast 5 get the win here tonight? Or will we find another new driver? Isaac Shelley down into turn number 1. He's looking strong with her side by side through turns 1 and 2.
And you can already see it stacking up much like a super speedway race. Who's got the help here is that inside line has pulled forward down the back straightaway with the outside line, just like Daytona Talladega has the run down into 3 and 4, as it's still a 4-man group up front. It's side by side for the majority of this field as they roar through 3 and 4.
Right now up front, still going to be side by side, about 2 rows deep, almost 3 rows deep, as drivers going to continue to roar down. They were for a quick second further in the middle of the pack, about 3 wide, 2 rows deep, but they've cleaned that up. Still side by side, Isaac Shelley holding strong for the 98, but watch out for Thomas Green. The back stretch, front stretch, the runs on the outside, they're massive. And for the 15, he's hoping to get a little bit more help if possible. That's going to come from our 4-time winner this season, John Forbes, who's going to be in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, it looks like Forbes has been able to take control of that 3rd spot as Danny Cochran slipped back on that bottom line, back to 4th there early in the go, but still side by side up front. Green is not giving up this outer groove, playing very detrimental to that 98, who's having a tough time trying to keep that car right on the bottom lane, not letting it wash up and Shelly's doing a great job of keeping his speed there, and he's going to pull a little side draft there to slow him down before they get to the corner. But still, Thomas Green here in the preferred position. Shelly is the one using the tires.
Right now, as Shelley is still trying to push on, but the real thing that's hurting this 98 is the momentum that he's carrying on the straightaways. But that was a great launch out of turn number 4, still keeping it side by side. And also of note, can say this, they can touch the apron. This is not like super speedway racing where you cannot go below and go down on the apron. The white line, just indication of where the apron is. You can go down there at your own risk. And right now, Isaac Shelley was doing his best. Still side by side for the lead, but a little bit further back as we're watching the battling for 7. They're finding themselves side by side. Gaudio, Eric Stamp, winner from Atlanta. They're still racing on, but finally, Thomas Green can clear for the lead, but the battle for 2nd now rages on.
It's been some wild racing in the start. You brought it up at the beginning, Sam. We said it was going to be like this from the very get-go, and it is right on top of each other. You got to give credit there. Eric Stamp, that winner from Atlanta. He's in this MoCast 5. He's trying to work his way up, and it's continuing to stack up. As now Shelly up top as we got a caution.
Caution further back. They're going to be wrecking practically for last place as drivers slowing down, and it's going to be Jason Tamer going to be involved with this one in the 81, who had shown so much speed early in the season, has found himself once again caught up with bad luck for himself.
Yeah, and it's just some 3-wide action that's happening off of 2 between these guys, and it's going to bring out this caution here for the first time of the night, and it's going to be contact between him and Alexander Light. There is we've just 2 drivers really going for the same place on the racetrack. There is Tamer's going to try to get caught back up to this field now. Is not too much damage, but definitely still a hard hit. I'm surprised that nose is well off as it is, how hard he hit the outside wall.
Yeah, and right now we're waiting to see if we do get any of our replays given to us on our program. If not, really, like Zach said, it was 3-wide racing, and then it was contact between the 2 drivers. It was that of Tamer, stuck in the middle, thought he was clear, trying to come up in front of Alexander Light, was not, and found himself being spun around, as we do not have the replay, and we're sorry for that, but Tamer at least is still rolling for now. I think that's the big thing that he can take away from this is, yes, he got damage he didn't want, but at least he's still rolling.
Yeah, that you took the words out of my mouth there, Sam. It could have been a lot worse with how the angle of that wreck happened, especially how high speed it was. I really thought that thing would have took a lot more of a beating. It was actually the door of the truck that took most of the damage in the right front. So it looks like Tamer's going to get worked on. Is most of these guys are going to stay out here early in the going here on lap 7. That's the smart way to go. Is I don't think even pitting right now would be able to allow you to get to that stage at lap 70. I still think you'd have to at least make a pit stop. So really no huge reason for guys up front to even gamble right now. If you're in the back though, why not come down, top off, get some fuel in that race car, and you can stretch it a little bit farther. Never know, you get that timely caution in those sequences, and you could very well be in great track position wise.
That's what some of the drivers did do coming into pit road, that being led by Christopher Norris, going to be in 27th. Came in just topped off with fuel for the 54, then Gregory Shaw, Jesse Thordick, Logan Brakey, Cody Dorsey, Tyler Dangler, that of Alexander Light, as well as Jason Tamer, all coming in. 2 drivers that were heavily involved that brought out this yellow are both still in pit road, as Tamer actually able to start rolling, but Light still in pit road, getting damage repairs for that 97 machine. And like you said, Zach, we are racing to our stage break. Going to be at lap 70 for the North Star Design stage break. And for the drivers here on the top 10, get those bonus points. So they want to make sure that you're up in the top 10. And right now, Thomas Walter going to be that 10th place position. But he's got some tough competition behind him. He's got that of Trenton Jump, Ollie Fonseca, as well as Martin Morales Jr. going to be those 3 drivers trying to knock on the door to get crack into the top 10.
Yeah, and it's been hectic right in that area too. So we'll have to watch out for that group as we get them double file back up here as we heading out of 2 now with the pace car, and lights are off. So we're gonna go back green here. As Thomas Green was able to use that outside lane to get to this lead. Now you're gonna have John Forbes up there. We'll see if he can have a good enough restart to stay door to door with that 15. But remember, the 15 is gonna be able to have control here, so he'll have a little bit better shot here of being able to get out front, clear this 11. Whereas Isaac Shelley, he had to wait for the green on the start, and that really helps that outside lane really have a chance going off into 1. And when you're side by side, that outer groove is very tough to be able to make the pass on the bottom. So we'll see what Thomas Green can do with this restart, Sam. But I think Forbes here is still sitting in a good spot to hold on the second.
Also, another factor to watch out for, you talked about it on the first initial start of this race, cold tires. Well, they got a couple of green flag laps into these tires. They cooled off slightly here under pacing. We'll see if any drivers get the great launch they're looking for with these slightly warmer tires, or if they're going to be finding a little bit of wheel spin. And we'll find out here shortly as the pace car makes the hard left-hander to pit road. And the hands are now going to be in that of Thomas Green. Going to be waiting to see how he's going to take off, and automatically going to be gone with Isaac Shelley down into turn number 1. We're green once more for the welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150. And a little bit of a cleaner start here for our top 3. Everyone else from that of 4th on back, still a little bit side by side.
Yeah, that's what you call a well-timed teammate restart there with Isaac Shelley and Thomas Green there. Definitely getting the good old countdown from a teammate to help you both launch at the right time. So both those two jump out to that first and second position, but we're watching this battle as Gaudio in the 3, making noise here early, trying to get by that 2 of Danny Cocker there as they come off a 4. Great move by Gaudio, who's had a struggle of a season so far to get up into the top 5, and right now breaking up there with a good run to start this race.
And also other side-by-side racing that we're watching here on screen. Going to be watching that of 53, Eric Stamp. Going to be having that of Jared Talmadge, as well as Trenton Jump. Going to be on the back bumper of the 53s. We're right on board with that of 46 of Trenton Jump. And Jump, who's going to be pressuring his teammate here of Eric Stamp. And Stamp right now, certainly just in cruise control, I would say, for that 53. But he's got to be careful because, I mean, Zach, we've watched a couple Las Vegas races here previously, in this track, it seems like the aggressive level, the more aggressive you are early on, seems to be more advantageous of how that long run actually will be for yourself.
Yeah, it really seems to pay off. You would think laying back here, pulling the more conservative strategy, just riding in the draft would be the way to go. Man, this dirty air here is just so turbulent. It's so hard not to burn up your tires, even if you're not pushing hard. So it's a really, really tough position. And like I said, it really pays off to be aggressive. Get out front, get that clean air, and hold on to that track position. This passing here, very tough to do. As you see these guys here on the bottom, they're trying to get it done. Gaudio is in the 25 read, also trying to follow him through. But Cochran there on the outside, he's able to get that good launch up off the corner. And the longer this run continues, the better that outer groove is going to get, and the worse that bottom groove will get. So we're wrecking back here for position, and I can't see who went around there.
Oh, it's a bigger one. More drivers even getting collected into this. John McAdams, there's Mark Morales Jr. More drivers piling in even as it is a madhouse. Dakota Moniz comes in late into this incident, and now drivers are upset. They're over the radio. And this was one of those wrecks that kind of was expected to see at some point here, Zach. I mean, that first wreck, I would say very minimal. Only 2 drivers heavily involved. But as we take a look here at our second caution of the day, just gets hooked, spun around as McAdams with that Mark Morales Jr. and everyone else tries to dive down low to avoid him.
Yeah, and it's kind of actually pretty similar to what happened before, even though it's not a 3-wide incident. McAdams are clear for a moment. You see you guys piling in here later, but clear there for a moment coming off of turn 2, and he just slides up into the lane, and Morales is there in the 91, and just unfortunate there for that. Those 2 guys is it's going to pile up even more of them there. As you can see here, we're parked right here for John McAdams, and Dakota Moniz there blown up into 5.
Yeah, Moniz, who honestly could have been not involved in this wreck if we had seen McAdams just hold the brake, but that is not going to happen. Dakota Moniz is going to be one of our first drivers to have required damage. And this is kind of poor luck that Dakota Moniz had last season. We're seeing a little bit of a sniff of it here for the 5, as that was your instant replay of caution number 2. And here's another look of what happened to Dakota Moniz. Zach, I mean, all he sees is smoke, holding a high, which is more of a unique way to go. But once you see that smoke clear, you feel comfortable and confident you can just stay up here, this clean track. Then the 47 spun around. You think he's going to hold the brake. He doesn't, and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's I tell you what, Moniz is probably very frustrated from that. That is a unfortunate incident. McAdams, I understand it looked, from what I looked at there myself, looks like he was trying to save it, kind of do a little spin and get it going. And I understand he's trying to do that and get and hold his position like he is, but it's probably just better after the caution has already came out, just to lock them brakes down. It's more predictable for the drivers around you, and Dakota Moniz, he sees that car way down there on the apron. There's no way he can predict that race car rolling backwards up the racetrack like that, and you can see that's the product you get from that. So unfortunate for Dakota Moniz, no wrongdoing of him, and definitely probably gonna be a lot of frustration there to that 47.
Yeah, and drivers that are in pit road, Dakota Moniz forced to come in to get damage repaired for himself, but luckily was not too bad. Yes, it was required damage. Yes, it had blown up, but he actually was only having to be in pit road for just that about 40 seconds, and now is back out on track for the 5. We'll see how underpowered he is. Alexander Light as well had to come into pit road. Matt Martin Morales, Carl Pooler, as well as Blake Howell, Tyler Dangler, all coming into pit road. Practically everyone from 22nd on back coming in this go around to make sure that they've got themselves at least some type of either fuel, some just going with damage repairs and trying to reset for themselves. Well, before that yellow came out, I was just about to give note. Second car on the outside, Danny Cochran bringing out a brand new scheme for this Las Vegas race, and you're not seeing the number 2. Instead, you're seeing dices. He's got snake eyes on the side of that machine, indicating 2 for his number. And a little bit of, creativity coming from these schemes. It kind of threw me off at first. I was like, is he trying to run the 11 with having 2 2s? But he added up, you get 2 for himself, and there is Danny Cochran's scheme for tonight.
Yeah, definitely interesting one. Yeah, he showed it to me earlier in the week, and I was like, man, that's creative. That's a different way of showing a custom number for sure, and that's the beauty of iRacing when they gave that to us. So thank you very much to iRacing for letting us get these custom numbers.
iRacing, Trading Paints, thank you to all of everyone that allows us to have a little bit of fun out here on iRacing with these schemes. And like I said, creativity is what we like to have. Well, the pace car is pulling off, allowing the trucks to get ready for our 3rd restart of the evening. We'll see how clean they can get this go around, as already ducking down. And Thomas Green does not want to worry about anyone else as he is taken off immediately.
Yeah, does a little bit of an opposite strategy there since his teammates in second. Isaac Shelley, he takes the outside line, gets the good restart, lets Isaac Shelley slide into that second spot as they head down the 1. So great job by Thomas Green there. That's great teammate work there. As now you'll see Fonseca here ducking out low as they head to 3. He's trying to make some moves up here as he's going to have 2 trucks to his outside here to look for spots.
Yeah, Ollie Fonseca as well as we see Eric Stamp going to be on the outside. Trenton Jump's going to be behind the 24 that we're riding on board with. And Ollie Fonseca, Trenton Jump, as well as Kyle Rochelle. These 3 drivers have been rolling together and have been trying to become the biggest movers of the night with how well they've been climbing through this field. But side by side, you're seeing it right now. Going to be that of Trenton Jump and Ollie Fonseca as well. Got to be careful. There is the 21 of Kyle Rochelle, also leaning back in that late apex 21, figuring out where he wants to place himself. But officially, biggest mover of the night, going to be back in 16, GT Irizarry, who has done this multiple times of not qualifying well, but running that race pace for 14.
The GT always a great racer, that's for sure when it comes to that. As you see now, Jumps finally got by at 24 Fonseca. Rochelle tried to follow him through on the outside, just could not get there as Fonseca covered him off. But now we look back to GT there. He's battling with James Loveland, another driver who was trying to make his way up through from that 21st start position. I tell you what, right there from that 27th start spot, GT really charged up to the field here at Vegas, showing how strong he is at these intermediate racetracks.
Doing a fantastic job for himself as CGT trying to get by that of James Loveland. Try to go up another position, 12 now for the 14, as we're now going to move back up front because the lead pack getting a little frisky for second place. Isaac Shelley, Danny Cochran is going to be side by side. Here comes John Forbes as well. And the rest of the field, they're starting to get a little bit more side by side, which Zach, I would say, hey, this is great to see, especially after a restart. But we're now coming up to 20 laps into this race. Those tires going to be something to worry about here very shortly.
Yeah, tire wear is starting to kick in now, and that's where I think you'll see that outer groove and passes start being made here as more and more tire wear gets worn into these tires here as we run green flag races. You see Forbes up top there with his teammate Ethan Smith down low. Gaudio is going to be directly behind. So with Jump there in the 46, he's really been making his move there. As this outside line is really starting to roll up top here, as it's really the first 4 single file, but from there on back is double file.
Yeah, and 2 teammates we haven't really talked about. That's going to be Ethan Smith as well as Cody Reed. They're staying low and just being patient, staying as low as they can down to that white line and trying to work with one another on the straightaways. And oh boy, a little bit of a squeeze. Let's go 3 wide. Trenton Jump forcing the pinch on the inside of that of Smith. And Gaudio gets a little bit too high, giving great showing. Then there goes the 46. What a move there, Zach. I thought for sure we were going to see a wreck, and we might even still see it here. Coming out turn 4, there's Moniz. Going to be forcing it there for a 4 wide.
Yeah, I was about to say we had the lap car coming up on the outer groove there, and that was getting very, very intense moments there. As Trenton Jump's going to be the big winner in all of this here as he heads the one, going to try to slide up in front of Gaudio. Can he get it done? If he does this, he'll be up to the 5th position. And I tell you what, that 46 machine, he is rolling.
Finding just a little bit more speed. Now going to be cracking inside of the top 5, and he also could see a little bit of shimmying later behind them. Holly Fonseca making some big moves. Cody Reed as well, as all the drivers picking and choosing where they need to place themselves as the tire wear's kicking in. Hey, let's try 3 wide further back. GT Irizarry's going to be the one trying to force the issue further back for himself as well. Going to be a little bit of contact between himself and that of Talmadge, and anticipation, a little bit of aggressiveness. Here comes that of Tamer, who was involved in the first wreck. He's now going to be up to 16.
If this ain't pack racing, I don't know what you call it. We look all the way back here, this group we're watching. It's all the way back here for around the 16th to 17th position here, back to Gregory Shaw. And it's only 1.8 seconds to our leader. So this is amazing to see. His old Kralik gets way up there on the track. He got into the wall, and that's checked him up, and Thomas Walton.
Yeah, it's going to be the 0-1. He got into the wall on the entry of turn 3, bounced off again on the exit of turn 4, and Kralik's now going to be going from battling up inside of the top 12 to now the 22nd as we move back up, seeing the battling up for that 10th place position. Very important for this battle. Eric Stamp almost going to be making, and they are going to make more contact. Here to Kyle Rochelle, also GT Rizzari. Well, they go 3 wide for the 14 to force the issue.
I tell you what, it's Las Vegas. These boys are gambling with these moves out here this early into stage number 1. Look at this big run through the middle for Gregory Shaw, 2 behind here. This is getting wild. I think Eric Stamp, he backs out of this situation and says, you guys can have that.
And also, again, top 10 get the bonus points, and that's exactly where these drivers are battling right now. We're right on board with the 14 of GT Irizarry. He's that 10th place position. He can tell they are hounding, they are wanting the position. And now on the back bumper, Talmadge, Kyle Rochelle almost sliming off one another. Why not rub each other again out of the corner? And that's exactly what they're going to do, try to keep off of the exit wall. And Zach, this is getting out of hand for these drivers. Gregory Shaw, a driver that we know is willing to get aggressive. He's going to force a 3-1 contact with Kyle Rochelle up into the outside wall. Still more contact. There they go, and the 35 is done.
Oh, no, that was just late contact there between those two. Shaw was going high to make it 3 wide, and that just got a little bit antsy there. I think Rochelle comes up, and, man, from there, it's fireworks.
They're just trying to make some big moves, and with the momentum that they had, just again, I think it's another one of those points where drivers thought they were clear for that of Kyle Rochelle. We're going to see on this replay, and you're going to see the 21 coming into turn 1, going to think he's clear, not, comes right into the front bumper of the 35, and away they go into the outside wall. And for poor Gregory Shaw, there was nowhere to go because he'd already picked the outside lane. He tries to come down, and there was just nowhere to go. The 21 was still hooked inside of the 35 and just finishing him off.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate there. And it's going to even get Kyle Rochelle there again. So both of those drivers taking the real brunt of that battle there. And I tell you, like you said, Sam, you said it very well. It was just nowhere to go for Gregory Shaw there. He was up high, tries to come back down low, to miss it. And Rochelle out of control there, couldn't hold on to his truck, and just unfortunately makes contact between the two. And man, oh man, 3rd caution of the night. This racing, though, has been intense. And look at this. We're having some gamblers possibly. Oh, no, they're going to turn back on the racetrack. It looks like maybe Kerry Trabu is going to be the first one to come down in that 10 machine as they're heading off the pit road here on lap 27.
Actually going to be the 2
scenario. Ooh,
it's Danny Cochran who's going to be leading the way into pit road. He's going to be the only driver inside of our top 10 to be coming into pit road. Interesting call for Danny Cochran, but I was just about to throw that out. I mean, we're coming up to halfway, I mean, a little bit, sooner than halfway for these drivers, but this is probably one of the best opportunities you're going to have to come into pit road, get some fresh rubber, and get at least a taste of what it's like to have fresher rubber than of the second half of the field. As half the field comes in, Danny Cochran's going to take 4 tires and fuel. These drivers have 4 extra sets in pit road to work with, so this isn't a terrible call by the 2 machine. There's a lot of other drivers that are deciding to come in also just to get damage repair.
Yeah, not a terrible call indeed. I would have figured a lot more drivers would have hit pit road there, considering the scenario we're in. But man, I tell you what, right now this is shook the whole playing field up. We're gonna see how those new tires work, and we'll see how well he can drive through the field along with Logan Breaky there.
And the driver's gonna be getting set up. how well can you carve your way through this field with fresh tires? Again, for that is Danny Cochran. He's going to have about 28 lap fresher tires as about, I would say, 15 of the drivers in front of the two are going to be on that of the same set they've been on since the start of this race, but they've been still running up front. Again, this is our third caution of the night, meaning that almost half of the laps that we've ran have been under yellow, so we still have quite a bit of racing to be done. These tires not as old as I think that the lap, counter is showing us.
Yeah, and the other question for myself is, with these cautions here, how much fuel have these trucks been able to save? Because that lap 70 stage break, I mean, that is not doable in my opinion under one tank of fuel here. So they're gonna need some help with these cautions if they want to make it on one tank. Danny Cochran now and anybody who ever pitted behind them, they're good to go to the end of this stage. If it was to go green, they would be sitting in a way, way better spot. So we'll have to see. But do we expect green flag racing with how wild it's been? It's possible that we'll see another yellow. So that's possibly why we're seeing this. It's kind of the short track mentality. You don't want to put yourself back in the mess.
Yeah, if anyone I'm nervous about, it's going to be Danny Cochran for putting himself back here. Yes, there is a risk to reward. Is the reward worth having those fresher tires so you can get through this field faster, or is the risk of being taken out going to be what takes you done for the night before we even get finished with our stage break? Up front, it's going to be that of Thomas Green, Isaac Shelley, John Forbes, Trenton Jump, and that of Anthony Gaudio going to be your top five. Ethan Smith, that of Ali Fonseca, Cody Reed, GT Irizarry, and Jared Talmadge going to be your top 10. Top 10 drivers going to be getting those stage points at our North Star Design stage break at lap 70 for these drivers, at the end of lap 70, I should say. So these drivers still have a lot of time for themselves. Do want to give note, first official DNF of the night, going to be Gregory Shaw in the 35, who brought out the most recent yellow. And oh man, you got to be feeling for Gregory Shaw, who was flying through this field with that aggressive driving style, but honestly was the innocent victim of this most recent incident.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Greg, man. I tell you what, he was looking good. They're making some good moves, and this place, it just really puts on a show with these trucks. You really can't get away. It's very, very similar to Daytona and Talladega. I mean, like I said, we were battling with the top 23 guys within 2.5 seconds of the lead after 25, 30, almost 30 laps of racing. That's pretty unheard of at a mile and a half. So, man, I tell you, that shows you how stacked this field is and how close these trucks are and how equal they are on this racetrack with the grip level here tonight under the lights.
As well, another driver that's going to be done, Blake Howell, is out of this race, as well as up front, Thomas Green, Isaac Shelley. They've been the front runners all night long. Not a lot of transferring and changing up. Trenton Jump, though, driver that qualified outside of the top 15. Well, the race pace is there for the 46. With older tires, how well is this restart going to go? We're going to find out here very shortly. Thank you for joining us here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series, race number 9 of the season. And this is the welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150. We are green. Once again, the teammates got the restart perfect.
Yeah, another great outside start from Thomas Green there, and that's them just working that together. And now look at this, Trenton Jump. He's going to try to take advantage of all this. They're working the outer groove around John Forbes, along with Ethan Smith trying to get to the outside of Gaudio. But from there on back, they're stacking up. We'll have to see what type of progress happens for the tires back here for Danny Cochran and that group. But it is already, you're seeing a little bit more separation on this restart. As you see a little tight there from John Forbes. He washed up right back as we look back here to the back.
There's the 2. He's going to be those driver with the 2 dices with the 1. Snake Eyes equaling out to the 2, number 2, and he's flying. Danny Cochran started on this restart back in 19th. He's already up to 15th in just 2 laps, and he is certainly making and showing fresh tires are the equalizer to make you fly through this course, as well as that's going to be Trabu, who's going to be following suit for the 10. These 2 drivers, give them another 5 laps, Zach, and I think they're going to be battling up for a lead here shortly.
No doubt, Sam. They're already charging up through. They're able to hold these throttle all the way down, and it's showing here as they're able to make moves really anywhere. They're going to have the ability to go low, go high. So Tamer makes the late block there on Cochran on the new tires, and risky call there for the 81 to make that move.
I don't think Tamer might have known that he was on those fresher tires. If anyone At this point, oh my goodness, GT Azari with the late block. Tamer gets contact. They hold on 3 wide down into turn number 3. And Denny Cochran, the one who's in the center of it. Fresh tires. Well, he's going to place that truck anywhere he wants and now going to be in the Hornet's nest. Yes, he's inside of the top 10 now, but it is where it gets more clustered. Drivers are packed in. These big moves, they're going to get riskier and riskier.
Yeah, and right here too, side by side, what does he decide to do? If you put it on the back bumper, Tamer, you just make him a little bit loose. It's going to possibly slide him on the racetrack. There it goes, right up ahead of John Forbes. Now going to have the open lane to do what he needs to do here in this 2 machine. But we'll see, does the 17 cover him off, or does he go to that middle lane? Yes, he does. He sees the new tires coming. And look at this, he's going to try to get to the inside of the 3 here. Also, new tires, very much working.
Making you feel like a hero at times when you got fresh rubber compared to the rest of the field, as you're going to be seeing the 2 doing a great job. That's of Danny Cochran, but he's also going to be having the 10 of Trevu still on the back bumper. Yes, there was a little bit of a scare with the 10 and the 81, but still keeping it close and flying through this field. It's the 2 and the 10 here. Zach, and if anything, Tribune might be the driver to watch out for that could potentially make this pass. Danny Cochran's doing all the hard work. The 10's just following suit.
Yeah, I tell you what, Trevu's the one that's going to win out all the situation. I mean, look where he was back, mired way back in the midfield of this race. Now, using these newer tires, he's going to possibly set himself up for some big stage points here if this thing continues the way it's looking. But I tell you what, we get a caution quickly. These drivers who are seeing these new tires go by, they're going to say, oh, just wait till that yellow flag flies, my friend, because guess what? You're going to be the one sitting on old tires when we get the new ones.
And right now, continuing to watch for the battle for now 3rd place, just in a blink of an eye. It's now for 2nd, now for the lead. Danny Cochran, fresh tires, is gone. Going to be now leading here at the Welcome to the Incredible Las Vegas 150. And the 2 machine gets it done, but now it's the true battle. How does Trabu do it? He ducks it down low, getting into the quarter panel, but not able to push up the 2 too much. But here comes the exit of turn 2. It is all on the line, and all the numbers are lining up. It's Danny Cochran up front going into turn 3.
Great move by these 2 to get out front here. So they're going to be going by Moniz again to put him a lap down there with the inch of damage. But these 2 going to try to pull away here from this pack. If they can break away enough here before the tires start to even out, they should be able to have enough distance where they can continue to build that gap. So we'll see right here. Trabu, though, looking to the inside. He says he wants to race here for the lead while he's got a chance.
Tucking it down low to the corner panel. Now going to be side by side out of the corner, but the fresh rubber, fresh tires, fresh going to be wind as it's going to be clear for the 2, but the 10 still going to be lingering side by side. But that clean air, Zach, I think that's going to be potentially what wins out for Danny Cochran, even though those tires are starting to get cooked up here the longer we go on.
Yeah, and to tell you what, the longer they go side by side like that, that also slows them down on the straightaway. So, you know, that side drafting action that was going on right there, that just allows Thomas Cream possibly to stay a little bit closer. And you know, I wouldn't want to start balancing you get a little bit farther away. If I'm the 10 and the 2, I'm looking to get as far away from this group behind here so it can be a mano and mano. You know, you don't want to slow each other down racing too hard and then let the tires start to even out, and then it becomes once again a very much a pack race. So the draft becomes really king at that point. But we got some 3 wide action back here around Anthony Gaudier, Jared Talmadge. I believe it's John Forbes the one making the big move there, and 11 all the way to the bottom of the apron here. It's going to be Christopher Norris in the middle of that.
Stewie Norris, who's got damage, but also fresh tires. It's allowed the 454 to really be able to hold strong, and there goes the launch to the center of 3 wide. Now going to be ducking it down low into Talmadge, and behind them, still going to be thinking about 2 wide, 3 wide, and it's going to be that of Ryan Ferraro, who's got damage and also fresh tires that are going to be trying to work with one another. But into the outside wall, GT Arizari in 14, losing ground, and went from up in the top 10, now outside, back to 18th.
Yeah, our biggest mover there was not too pleased by that for sure. They'd be able to get into the wall. That's really going to hurt that racetrack. So unfortunate for GT, but he's going to try to rebound here after this stage break and see what he can get done. But still, what looms for me is, can these drivers who've yet to pit get to that lap 70 stage break? Because if they can't, that pit stops are going to be coming soon for them, possibly, if they can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we are at that 30 marker, coming to 29 laps to go here just in stage 1 of this race. We still got a lot of racing to go. We're not even halfway through the whole entire race. We've already had ourselves 3 yellows here tonight. A lot of different strategies have been thrown out, but for right now, watching the field just in cruise control for some. Others, it's about being a madhouse and sending it as fast as you can. As we're right on board with the 54 of Christopher Norris, that's being patient. I mean, also the fact that he's got damage, he has to be patient, just slowly chipping away for every single position.
Yeah, and that's what he needs to do here, is be patient and we showed Lito last week when we rode on board with him, and he was doing a great job and really making up spots. And he unfortunately made a mistake into Ali Fonseca, who unfortunately I believe is the driver in front of him. But we're not going to jinx him this time, guys. Here, Freaky Fast, he's going to be doing a great job here. Yeah, that damage still very much hurtful there as I looked at that racetrack. It's just got a lot of drag, and when you're at a track like Las Vegas, very much similar to a super speedway style racing, any type of drag on the straightaways is going to slow your performance down in your truck.
Being on board with some of the drivers further up. This is Trenton Jump's top board. Gaining sense about 46 is trying to figure out how to get by Isaac Shelley. Shelley, who's been doing a decent job, got the pole position here tonight, and now lingering in fourth, doing a great job keeping it close with Thomas Green. But right now, Trenton Jump, who was most aggressive comparatively, now we look at an outer view for Trenton Jump. Yes, up front looks, pretty patient. Behind him, though, it is still a war, as here comes Norris, now going to be ducking it down low, trying to go for 2 for 1 through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and that damage is not going to hurt him too much in the corners there on Norris, but it's going to be the straightaways where it's going to be the worst for him. As you can see, he gets on the straightaways, he's able to just stay even with these guys, but as he head down to the corner here, you'll see he'll be able to fight strong right here on the bottom, only the entry drive right even with that 46. But now once it becomes a momentum game, it's hard for that damaged truck to be able to pull forward. As you can see that outer groove, everybody drafting there, that's going to make it even worse on that 54 there as they head down the back straightaway. Trenton Jump still holding strong, but again, there's Norris with that strong drive off into 3 there from the new tires.
Yeah, and there's also another driver that's about to get into the mix of things here. The 12, Ryan Ferraro, is about to be ducking it down low, and he's now gotten to the back bumper of the 24 as they drive on by quickly by that of John McAdams, who's going to be down on the apron. But the 12 as well as the 54, both going to have fresher tires, but they've have damage. Like you said, that drag is what's been hurting them from really just flying through this field like we saw that of Trabue and Danny Cochran, that are both now, compared to the feet group that we're watching, over 5 seconds ahead of these guys.
Yeah, they are pretty much gone from this group here, Sam. And I just did a little bit of math looking up from a little bit of information out here from a few trucks out here running fuel mileage wise. And from a green flag run, if you ran completely green, 48 laps is about what you'd be able to do at full bore wide open. So, the longer that run goes on, the more that number does drop down. So I'd say probably 50 laps is at most you're going to see these guys be able to stretch it. These cautions here are going to help, but those pit stops are going to be happening soon for this group that has not yet hit pit road. They're just waiting to see if they can catch a caution, because right now, if they were to hit pit road, it's going to be a unfortunate stage for them here.
With the amount of yellows that we had, I would say around 53 to 55 might be the window I'm looking for these drivers potentially going to pit road, but you never know. The sooner probably is going to be the better for a lot of these drivers, because you get that fresh rubber, you can just pull away. But in other drivers' mentalities, it could be I don't want to use that extra set. Maybe if I wait as long as possible, and so, driver's going to get spun around onto the backstretch. It's going to be that of watching the 12, Ryan Ferraro, back out on track, as well as Isaac Shelley. Cars get up to the outside wall, yellow flag strikes, and that strategy is thrown out the window, and more drivers piling into that of Ryan Ferraro.
Oh, man, this is an unfortunate scene here again. Just some guys just piling in there just a little bit late. And, yeah, I think a few guys definitely making mistakes there. Oh, and the biggest one of them, I believe, is going to be Aaron Kralik, who's going to take it behind the wall here as we look at the replay.
Replay here, and what we're going to be watching out for is the back bumper comes right in front of that of Fonseca, is that of Isaac Shelley. Gets hit in the quarter panel, and just like that, the 98 nowhere to go. And for Ferraro, the innocent victim. But watch out for the 12, because they're going to be making contact sliding up, and here comes some of the aftermath of drivers not able to slow down in time. I think another thought could have been potentially of these drivers going to hold their brake. And just like that, nowhere to go, the 0-1 just absolutely pile drives into that of Ryan Ferraro.
Yeah, Kralik, I think he was trying to make it through that, but man, unfortunately, just picks the wrong spot and did not get that car woed up enough. And yeah, that's just an unforced mistake.
Oh,
and
he drifts up too.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, we had the same conversation last season, Zach. It was a lot sooner in season 1, but people are not holding their brakes. It was last season ARCA brakes of drivers that's not slowing down coming into wrecks. Well, now drivers are involved in the wrecks are just letting their trucks drift. I know they're frustrated, but at the same time, you're ruining other drivers' races by the way that they are not holding these brakes on wrecks.
Yeah, your frustration doesn't mean you need to give someone else some frustration, no doubt, Sam. It's one of those things where you gotta play smarter than that. You gotta hold the brakes, even to that point. Tow your race truck. We have that button there, the reset, pull us right back to pit road. That's the ability we all have. All you have to do is hold the brakes, hold that button down, and after a few seconds, it will reset us. There back to our pit boxes. So no reason to be rolling back up on track, especially if you're going to be pulling yourself out of the race immediately.
And for that, both that of Aaron Kralik and also Ryan Ferraro both are done. They've already officially left the session. They are going to be another collection to the DNFs that we have already had. That of Blake Howell and Gregory Shaw officially out as well. Well, this is when things get a little bit more tricky. Again, we were talking about potentially drivers thinking about coming into pit road, taking tires. We knew fuel was going to be an issue for those that had not pitted all race long. Well, with this yellow, they all come in, except for one driver, Danny Cochran, who got a feeling of just being a hero with fresh tires, having a 28-lap advantage over the rest of the field. Well, we went on a little bit of a longer green flag run. This two machine's going to have much older tires, much more worn-in tires, and now he's going to have a complete field with fresher rubber behind him.
Yeah, that gamble he took there, man, it was paying off. It was very well paying off if it would have continued green there, but that yellow really, really ruined his whole plan. And right now, he's going to feel the reverse of what he felt there being Superman on tires. He is going to feel the worst of this. Everybody here behind him on a fresh set of 4 tires here. He is very unlikely to hold into this top 10 for these stage points. Biggest thing for him here, Sam, you got to survive, man, because this is where it gets a little bit sketchy and hairy, man. When you're dropping back this fast, some guys get such big runs. Someone makes a late move, and then someone else runs right in the back of you. So these are scary moments if you're on the 2 team, because this is going to be a wild last 20 laps of this stage for you.
Fourth caution of the night for these drivers, and with this gives us a little bit of time to give thanks to our sponsors here at That of Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Start things off with Advanced Sim Racing. If you're looking for a one-stop shop to go get yourself a racing chassis where you can find yourselves with wheels, monitor stands, and also your racing rig itself, build it all out, go to that Advanced Sim Racing. They're one of the fastest growing North American companies, started back in that of 2020, and they have been amazing. It's great to have them as a partner. If you go use our discount code FreakyFast5, you get yourself 5% off at Advanced Sim Racing. Thank you so much. We'll talk more about other sponsors at our stage break here as drivers up front. Again, going to be Danny Cochran, Thomas Green, Trenton Jump, Christopher Norris, Ethan Smith, Ollie Fonseca, James Loveland, that of Jarrett Talmadge, John Forbes, and Cody Reed. Going to be your top 10 drivers. And Zach, only the top 10 get those stage points, and it is on fresh tires once again.
Fresh tires, Sam. It's going to be wild here. Danny Cochran, though, going to feel the reverse down these old tires. He's going to be holding on for everything he's got here. Going to just try to survive to the end of the stage. But who's going to get the win? Who's going to get these bonus points as these top 10 here are going to score here at lap 70?
Danny Cochran going to be hoping to get a good launch here, as we're going to see a little bit of peekaboo action going on with that of Thomas Green, hoping that that will get cleaned up by the time that we do go green here. As we wait for the pace car, there it goes, hard left-hander to pit road. And just like that, Danny Cochran does not want to waste any time. He's got to get going, get a little bit of a gap, because those older tires, he is a sitting duck in our lead position as we are racing for the stage break at the end of lap 70. If a yellow comes out at that of lap 65 or later, that will be the stage break. But for these drivers right now, fresh tires, just like that, Zach, it's over for Danny Cochran. He's folding. He's going backwards.
Yeah, already going to lose the lead here at that turn 3, as you're going to be almost 3 wide behind them. They're racing for that second spot.
Oh,
it's going to
no.
be Norris, Talmadge, and Jump there as they all get 3 wide. Now Danny Cochran up top. He's just trying to hold on to this thing, as now everybody looking for spots as Ethan Smith goes low.
Luckily, that of Christopher Norris found a little bit of space, because he had to chase that truck all the way up to the outside wall to make sure that he did not spin that thing around. But as we watch the two continuing to fall back, losing more and more ground, our leader, that of Thomas Green, he's going to have a little bit of action from Ollie Fonseca as well as Christopher Norris. So I would say probably the driver that has really improved a ton from last season. It's great to see the 54 racing so hard, trying to go for a win here. But as we move up, There's Fonseca, great run on the front stretch, but he's not close enough to pressure for the lead.
Yeah, not close enough indeed. And, you brought up Norris, great run for him, but the one thing he's got to have that's not going to be looking good for him for possibly the rest of this race is he only has 2 sets of tires left on pit road. We'll see what he can do here as we're not even past halfway yet and has used half the set of tires. Here's Fonseca continuing to put pressure on. We've seen Fonseca be so quick this season, have so many good runs at qualifying, hasn't been able to put it together in a race, along with Thomas Green also, who's really been fast in qualifying races also, just hasn't put it together. So 2 of the drivers up front trying to go for the first one.
Yeah, I would put Thomas Green, Ollie Fonseca, and also that Jason Tamer all in the same category of they've got speed, but they get caught up in messes that take them away from an opportunity. And for Thomas Green, thought last week was his opportunity to get a win at that of Bristol Dirt. Well, got disqualified, wasn't able to even finish the race. Here tonight, led for a little bit, but it's Ollie Fonseca in the 24 out of turn 4. Finding himself leading for now, but here comes that also of Trent Jump. Christopher Norris, I think Jump's going to be the most scariest driver. He really carved his way through the field under our first real long green flag run. This 46 is going to be someone to watch out for if he can find his way to get by Christopher Norris.
Oh, he's the one I had pegged on my list too, Sam. He is definitely been looking very strong. He's driven his way through this field tonight. And again here, look at this outside run from the 46. He's going to be possibly looking to drive himself all the way up. The second is now Fonseca tied off a 4. It's going to allow the 46 to get to the outside as he's going to be looking for second place. Trent jumping through the field.
As right now, going to be watching these drivers battle it out. It's going to be our top 8, all within less than a second of one another, showing that anyone's still got an opportunity here. One slip up front could be ruining and ending your race, or giving you an opportunity to get up front from someone else that might slip up. But it's Trent Jump on the outer lane, running that middle groove and out of the corner. This 46 has found that speed, and now moving up to second place.
Trent Jump, there he goes, up to second. There's Fonseca slots back to third. Norris shows you right on board with him, holding on to this 4th position. He's going to have Ethan Smith in that 0-0 directly behind him after his strong showings in that truck so far this season, along with his teammate Cody Reed there, Jared Talmadge, and Anthony Gaudio here is this top 8. They've got about a second separating them as he's going to be Forbes and Earhart a couple car links back there. He's starting to break away.
They're breaking away, but up front, it's the battle for the lead. Trent Jump gets down low, going to be outside. Going to be Cody Dorsey trying to get out of the way of our leaders, but for the lead for now, Trent Jump, driver that's found himself in the victory lane here this season, was back at Watkins Glen after he found himself almost being taken out by a lap car, and now Trent Jump trying to secure a more, I would say, a little bit more of a racier win here tonight. Started all the way back in that of 16th, working his way up now to the lead. One of our biggest movers of the night, Trent Jump, still side by side with Green.
You can see trying to work that bottom move. It's so tough to make that work though, as he's continuing to hit his marks. Look in on the white line as now he washes up the track a little bit, but look at that, the 15 on the quarter panel on the exit. That's going to give the run to that 15 as the side draft is pulled down this back straightaway along with the momentum to the outside. You can see the momentum lost, but Jump again back to the bottom here in 3 and 4, trying to just find any little bit of grip, but it's going to be tough to make that pass here. But look at this.
Oh no,
15 blinks out.
He is blinking in and out, and that's going to be giving a little bit of a scare to our drivers. They now can't go full song because they don't know where the 15 is going to go, which actually is going to be giving an opportunity to Ollie Fonseca, who could potentially try to go on the outside. He knows where second place is running. Maybe not the leader at all times, but here comes Fonseca with the run on the outside. Gets right on the quarter panel. That's going to give him an opportunity here through 3 and 4. Great job by Fonseca to place himself, but here's another thing, Zach. The arrow push that these drivers are dealing with, what we call the quote-unquote wind, that is also going to be an issue for these drivers to watch out for. I saw it happening a lot during practice. It's happened a lot here at this race before. Wouldn't be surprised if these drivers are running a little bit too close to one another. They could strike as well.
Oh, no doubt. That is definitely always lurking around the corner when you're racing tracks like this where you're side by side for majority of the time you're racing. So as Trent Jump looks back to Ollie Fonseca, he's stabilized and held on the second year. But like I said, with that connection issue with Thomas Green, it's tough to be able to go full song and try to make moves without, being worried that you're going to make contact. So right now, it looks like Green is stabilized for his connection-wise, but man, that definitely will give you a little bit of worry as a driver. But you were alluding to Trent Jump. He wanted that Watkins Glen race. It was so good there, super dominant. Pulled it off, even out of controversy there, even pulled it off. So just amazing drive from there, but he hasn't been able to get it done on a oval yet this season. He's been close, man. He's having a lot of speed, and I feel like each and every oval we went to, he just hasn't had that one shining moment to put him in victory lane.
And also, you think about consistency. You think about these drivers that are just outside of that of the top 5. Cody Reed in the 25, and then you also got the 3 of Anthony Gaudio and Jared Talmadge. These 3 drivers have just tried to stay as consistent as possible. Gaudio, I would say, the one that came into this season, I think there was a lot more hype coming around this 3 coming into the start of the season. It's kind of tapered off after the fact that he hasn't had the strongest runs week after week, but the 3, this is a good run for himself, being up in the top 10.
No doubt. Yeah, definitely a great run for Anthony Gaudio. Yeah, and it's, yeah, you know, we expected a lot. We've seen him in the past on Freaking Fast perform very, very well. And, you know, we haven't seen him in a truck, though. That is one thing I will say. So this could have threw him for a little bit of a loop this season. And right now, this is a good run he needs. Only 2 top 10s this season, and that being a 6th and a 7th there at Michigan and Watkins Glen. So other than that, it's been a pretty dismal season for him. Even though he's had good qualifying runs with an 11th place average start, he's had about an 18th place average finish. So he's been going backwards most of the races. He's doing a good job staying right around where he started in that 5th position, back there in 7th.
Giving himself there, and as well, you know, talking about some of the drivers that have been doing a great job moving forward. Trevor Earhart, another one of those drivers, started all the way back in 31st position, did not qualify, the highest runner of the drivers that did not qualify, and gotta say, great job for our biggest mover, tied with the biggest mover with Jesse Thordick back in 11th, up 22 positions from where he started.
Yeah, Trevor Earhart just got that win, took it away from him there at Bristol after having that moment and getting caught up in his own in their lead. So he's looking to rebound from that after 2 weekends at Bristol there after the dirt race. Now back here, Las Vegas showing strength, but these 2 behind him here, Jesse Thornick, like you said, he's also been a huge mover through the field. What a drive for him in that 20 machine as he's driven himself up into that 11th position. He's trying to break into this top 10 here in these last 2 laps to get some stage points.
I mean, this is kind of the MO that we've seen from this 20 almost in every series that we watch him in. He shows up, might not put the practice time in, might not even put qualifying laps in, but when the race happens, he'll climb his way through the field, get up into the top 15, maybe even the top 10 at set moments. But it's about finishing the race that has been the struggle for the 20. We'll see if he can do that here tonight as we're going to move up for the battling for that of 4th place. Ethan Smith, Christopher Norris, also that of Cody Reed going to be on top of one another. And Zach, Christopher Norris, this is one of his best runs so far, and this is needed for a driver that's back in 23rd in points.
Oh, no doubt indeed. He needs this type of run here, especially with how many races we got left in this regular season. It's getting down to the point where you're pretty much do or die for Christopher Norris if you want to get into that top 16. So we'll see what he can do here as he covers off the 25 after Ethan Smith has made the pass there. 25, Ethan Smith trying to do what his teammate did, just hasn't got it done yet. But also, this is bringing Gaudio into the picture. Can Gaudio break into the top 5?
He was going to do his best. Christopher Norris, his best finish last week at Bristol Dirt. He's going to hope that he can find himself his first top 5, but you got to hope that you can hold on as he's going to be having that of Cody Reed. And Cody Reed and Christopher Norris, it's maybe not on track all the time, but certainly in private and also in Discord, they have their altercations every once in a while. I would not be surprised if there is contact, but without that, we're going to be seeing our stage break coming here on that of lap 71. In a blink of an eye, these drivers find themselves here at our North Star stage break, and it's going to be that of Thomas Green taking the victory here for the 15. Trenton Jump in 2nd place, Ollie Fonseca in 3rd, Ethan Smith in 4th, Christopher Norris in 5th, Cody Reed in 6th, Anthony Gaudio, as well as that of Jarrett Talmadge, Trevor Earhart, and John Forbes could be your top 10 drivers getting those bonus points. Thank you so much to North Star Designs for being our stage break sponsor. Graphics, logos, websites, and more. You can find samples and more at North Star on Instagram. As well, you can follow North Star Designs on that of TWNORSE on Twitter and on Twitch. Whether you're standing out, whether you need to stand out, remember, look to the stars, North Star Designs. Thank you so much to North Star Designs for being our stage break. Thank you for joining us here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We're going to step aside when we come back. More Las Vegas racing here for that of the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. Like I said, in a blink of an eye, the stage break is here. We are now halfway when we go green here for that of the welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150 here tonight. Race number 9 of season 2, and it has certainly been a different race than most. We had a very caution-filled first half of stage 1. Well, now we're hoping that stage 2, and coming to the end of the race, it is going to be clean, green, and an amazing racing to watching. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Zach Hall, Robert Warriors Rain Productions here tonight. Zach, a little bit of a change-up. Our front two, Christopher Norris, Jared Talmadge, and as well, going to be that of John Forbes. Going with a little bit of different calls here. They did not go for 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, this is a very interesting call, in my opinion, here looking at this. This is going to be the first time we've seen a little bit of tire strategy tonight with different, options of configuration. So we'll see how this works out for these two starting up front. They think track position must be worth it.
I mean, they're going to be giving us a little bit of a taste on how these drivers feel as up front two going to be on those older tires compared to the rest of the field. How are they going to go on this restart? We'll find out. Again, you are watching the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Some of the best racing action on Monday night. And we are green halfway here at Las Vegas. And it's Christopher Norris going to be leading the charge. But Talmadge, he's swamped. We're 3 wide for second place.
Oh, we got a truck wrecking back in the grass, going back onto pit road. That's actually GT Rosario, who just got spun, I believe, right at the beginning of that start. I'm unsure exactly who got into that racetrack. It was a huge checkup. Must have been, I think Carl Poor may have gotten into it and spun him off into the grass.
It all started with our drivers up front. That inside lane did not get going at all. Now we're going to be seeing Trent Jump taking the lead, and it's also going to be that of Thomas Green going to be following suit. But watch out for the dashing back for that 4th place position. John Forbes, he's got to be careful. John Forbes actually went with the 2-tire stop for the 11 compared to everyone else, trying a very different strategy compared to that of Norris and as well of that of Talmadge that didn't go for tires at all, which is now allowing these drivers a little bit of wiggle room on where they want to place themselves. But Zach, I mean, this is getting a little bit dangerous for the drivers that are 4th on back.
No doubt indeed. You're now going to have Jared Talmadge there dropping back through, but you're going to have Christopher Norris there, so you're going to see him making the move. But also John Forbes with that 2-tire strategy. That's going to be an interesting call for him. We'll see how that works as he's stuck in the middle here as they're coming up on Norris here. Fonseca directly behind at 24. Those two got to know each other pretty well last week at Bristol. We'll see if they can make it through here as Norris is hanging on pretty well this time.
Great battles all the way through, and this is what pack racing at Las Vegas gives you up front as well. Our leaders, that of Trent Jump, that of Thomas Green, they actually made contact at a turn number 4 last lap. This go around, Thomas Green still going to make slight contact, not able to fully clear Trent Jump, and our leaders staying side by side for a full lap. Well, let's see if they can do it again, as it's going to be Jump on the outer lane. See if he can try to make this pass cleanly, as it's been Green looking stronger, but he's been really touching that white line. He's got to be careful on the exit here.
Oh man, it's getting a little feisty between these two. These two not giving each other a lot of room here on entries or on exits. And this is where you can see contact happen here. And it's still early in this race. I mean, racing this hard, but they're going to be side drafting each other down the straightaway, just pulling each other right back into the grass by Ethan Smith.
That exit and also the entry where drivers, these two, have been willing and almost absolutely door banging off one another. And it's been a lot of changing of where you want to enter the corner, changing it up, and you can just see the bob and the weaving of these drivers trying to figure out how to go through these corners and somehow staying off one another. But for how long is the question? If they continue this on, they're gonna make contact and they're gonna wreck up front.
Yeah, and you can see Thomas Green trying to get clear as possible, and he slides on the racetrack, but there a jump is there, and that's right on the quarter panel, and that is the side draft, and that is the beauty of that outside line. You get the perfect side draft if you're right there on that quarter panel and exit. And Jump was able to do is they still side by side, and Jump not giving much room here. This race, it has been tough, but it's been also great to watch.
Man, you got to thank for Thomas Green on that 15 on the inside. This has just been, oh, there it is. Contact going to be made in the corner, and it's just that changeup of who wants to enter sooner. And for Trent Jump, he thought the 15 was going to turn in sooner, did not. Had a little bit of a later impact, and here comes out of Ethan Smith into the 00, who comes out of nowhere, now going to be taking second, and now on the outside for the lead.
Momentum lost just like that between the top two, and it shows you how momentum based this racing is with this truck. Here now Ethan Smith trying to make it happen, and look at the teammates, John Forbes, Cody Reed, Ethan Smith, all three of them here now up into the top five, all able to hear battle with the two jump, the 46 of Trenton Jump and the 15 of Thomas Green as Ethan Smith is trying to make it happen. Oh, a little bit of network connections there happening, but Jump's got to back out of there for a moment.
Jump's just not feeling completely confident that he can just send it into that corner just yet, but they've got to be careful with one another as the aggression level continues to ramp up. Trenton Jump now going to have Ollie Fonseca. Fonseca now going to be having a little bit of a watch out. It's going to be seeing the 41 coming drifting up higher. Trevor Earhart now going to be in the mix here. It has all brought everyone closer to one another, and it all was that of Green and Trent Jump. They pulled away, was able to get by our drivers that didn't take fresh tires immediately, but after their contact, it has now swamped them, and this field is back on top of our leaders.
This is amazing to see. Yeah, it just shows you one moment you can be a little bit farther out front. You think you got it all covered, but now look at this. Ethan Smith almost clear in there, but man, they're just right on the door of each other, and this is going to be very tough for these guys to keep it this clean and green. And also coming in the background, all of this is Danny Cochran there making big moves. He's just got by the 41 of Trevor Earhart.
Trying to make all these moves. The 46, though, I'm watching him. It seems like Trent Jump is expecting drivers on the inside to just turn down a little bit sooner into these corners, and so he's reacting to turning down, and while everyone else having a little bit more of a deeper entry into the corner. But watch out, there goes a little bit of movement. But you talked about Danny Cochran. He's now flying up to 6, now moving up into the top 5, and it's side by side. Going to be for a couple of rows deep for our leaders. Once again, they're back at it. Trent Jump, Thomas Green, they're side by side again.
Yeah, these two played a little bit of games on entry and exit here, getting super close on the entries and on the exits here, and trying to mess each other's arc up. That's what the whole game of turning in early, turning in late. That driver on the bottom really takes that turn-in point, and when you're on the bottom, you can really hold someone up there from trying to turn down across your nose, and that's kind of what you got to do when you're racing on the bottom. It's so much easier to roll that outside line than you got to use every advantage you can on that inside line, but Jump not able to get it done, but back to the inside here, trying to get to Thomas Green. He's going to slide it between him and Ollie Fonseca, though.
Goal is for Jump, just let that 46 roll all the way up to the wall and maybe get a bigger launch out of the corner than the 15, and just was not able to, and that's just going to hurt Fonseca and bring more drivers into the mix here. But Trent Jump once more, middle lane, hoping he can get a better launch out of the corner, and a bit of a later apex, and here they come, rowing down into the backstretch. And on the straightaways, we're starting to see a little bit more of a tamer run here. But Zach, we know just in about 10 to 15 laps, it's going to rage right back on who's going to be having those fresher tires for the later run.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see once we get farther in this run. Oh, man, these leaders up front, they are doing some wild maneuvers here. The 15 is really blocking that 46 and trying to cover off these lanes. And I tell you, these two keep racing this hard this early. These fireworks are going to just end up into what like you said earlier, a ticking time bomb in this racetrack here. If it happens up front, a lot of guys can be involved with how stacked up our front leaders are.
Oh, you think about the drama last week, that of John Forbes to Thomas Green, door slamming off one another for the majority of the second half of that Bristol dirt race. And it came down to Thomas Green had too many incident points and got disqualified. Here tonight, we're on a much bigger, faster track of Las Vegas compared to the dirt Bristol race, but still seems Thomas Green, he's willing to beat and bang if you're out next to him.
Yeah, he's definitely willing to get the elbows out, and that's, he's a hard racer, and that's this season he's shown a lot of pace, led a lot of laps, but has been caught up in situations where maybe getting those elbows out a little bit too early in a race, and that's got him caught up in some incidents. So right now, continuing to battle with Trenton Jump there as he slides down the racetrack here. Jump still trying to jump to that outside groove. You're going to see, we could be seeing that front end to that back bumper there with these moves.
Big moves being thrown around on who's going to make what. Trenton Jump once again tries to get to the quarter panels. We're right on board with the 46 as he is already bumping and shoving into the corner, trying to ruffle the feathers of the 15. And Zach, lap traffic, it's coming up here on the straightaway.
Yeah, coming up on this lap traffic too. You're going to have this group of right here, 7, starting to break away a little bit from the group behind them there. That's led by Cody Reed. We'll see with this lap traffic coming up here. What do they do? It's going to be the 9 of Cody Dorsey and the 5 of Dakota Moniz. These two well off the pace, running right up against that wall. So right now with it too wide for that second position, or too wide, that possibly could be going for the leader if Jump does. This is going to get a little hairy here with these lap cars.
Trying to figure out, how do you use the lap traffic as an advantage, or will it be a disadvantage? Dorsey going to stay high for the 9, going to be hurting that of Ollie Fonseca the most, and potentially also that of Danny Cochran, and able to just drive on by Dakota Moniz with ease. And now high, low, blade blocks here or there, and both trying to find the right placement. And Thomas Green, Trent Jump, they just seem so equal at times on how they're running against one another. Everyone else, they're just trying to be patient on making sure they don't get caught up in the mess of the front two.
Yeah, these two definitely going at it pretty hard, but Fonseca's not giving up for sure. He's right on the back deck of that 46, and now up to 4th. The guy who's really been making the moves to the field is the 2 of Danny Cochran. And we can't look too far back. Last season, he was the winner here. Now that was a little bit of a controversial win from his side of the camp there between him and his teammate Vincent Sora. But I tell you what, he nonetheless was in victory lane. He could be looking to go for that second win here in Las Vegas. And the moves he's making has been impressive. As here goes Gaudio to the inside, looking to make it 3 wide.
Trying to make it 3 wide, and with a little bit of blinky from the 00, going to be forcing that Tribute out of that picture. Tribute was trying to make that pass between the 3 and the 00, but almost had it clear. That forcing of going 3 wide, I think, spooked the 10 a little bit. Didn't want to get himself into any other troubles. But Gaudio, this isn't the first time we've seen him tonight try something very risky, and once again does. But when we talk about the longer a green flag run goes, and we talk about that of tire wear, behind the 3, just that of 2 to 3 trucks back, James Loveland has cracked into the top 10, and that 56, whatever it's about tire wear, he always finds a way to sneak his nose up there.
Yeah, you can never count that guy out unless he's out of the race. I mean, you really can't. When you get these longer runs, you usually see that 56 moving up from where he started the run. So right here, trying to make the move on Cody Reed, as it's really the first time tonight we spoke about him. So great job by James Sullivan again, just being that silent assassin out there on the track, just saving them tires and using them at the right moments here, as he's still trying to work over this 25. He's going to have a little bit of help possibly hitting his teammate Trevor Earhart, but still that inside groove. It's tough to make passes here this late to go.
Also want to give other updates of this lead pack as drivers are still side-by-side battling. John Forbes, who went with the 2-tire strategy. Yes, it didn't succeed on keeping him inside of our top 5, but he's still attached to this lead group. He's back in 11th for the 11. If anything, this could be a sign of, 2 tires. Maybe it wasn't the best call, but, at least if you need some track position, it can give you some.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it wasn't the worst call either. So, it's something that these drivers could possibly be looking at if we get a late race caution and a lot of drivers come down here to get tires. I mean, track position we've seen has been very, very critical. I mean, you can make passes, but still, track position is everything when it comes to these NASCAR races. And when you get it at the end with only a few laps left, we see those 2 tires are able to work well. Even John Forbes was making big moves early in the run. So it shows they have a little bit of life and still even able to hold on here on the longer run. So, but I tell you what, the one trend I am starting to see, our front 4 starting to try to break away a little bit, as Ethan Smith is losing a little bit of gap to that 2 of Danny Cochran now on the board.
Just losing a little bit of time for himself. And some other drivers that are further back. Oh boy, ducking it down low. Very scary for Christopher Norris, as well as that of Thomas Walter. And Walter is slow going all the way down. Looks like pit road for that of the 57 is going to be his point on where he's going to be placing himself. As the issue is going to be Ashley Thomas Walter going to have to take a tow to pit road after a spill on the apron for the 57. So not the race that he was hoping to have. Christopher Norris, another driver that we note on, who took no tires on the last restart. He's back to 23rd, and he's got to be careful not to go a lap down. But Zach, tonight, money is on the line for these drivers. Only 5 of them, technically. It's your Mocas 5 that are racing here tonight. That was Isaac Shelley, Eric Kralik, as well as Danny Cochran, that of Paul Pergoli, and Eric Stamp, who were top 5 finishers from Atlanta. Well, Eric Stamp, he's running back in 22nd place. Paul Pergoli never showed up. Danny Cochran's our biggest runner of those 5. Kralik's out of this race. Shelley's out of this race practically back in 24th. The 2 is the only one who's got an opportunity to get some cash. That's $25 on the line. The only way to get that cash is if he wins here tonight.
Yeah, right now in that 4th position, it's not going to get it done for him. So he's going to have to try to get, 3 more spots and make his way through the field. There's Anthony Gaudio there, right on board with him. You can see that battle still pretty well front. You know, I was saying Ethan Smith in that front 4 was starting to break away from Ethan Smith there in the front 4. But he's starting to crawl back up as now Danny Cochran's caught up to those 3. It's kind of bringing everybody else from there on behind kind of up. So it's kind of a little bit of an accordion effect here as our top 10 are pretty much all nose to tail now after we get caught up to that too.
You can stretch it as far as you want, but you know it's going to come right back and close in once you get closer and closer to those pit stops. And that's going to be the key as well for these drivers. Green flag pit stops. When are we expecting to see them here, Zach, as we're on that of lap 01?
Yeah, that's a good question here, Sam. You know, we're right in that zone of possibly looking to make that happen here, because right here, I'd said 48 laps, you know, if you're running full bore. So I'd say anywhere from 50 laps is probably what you'd be able to do on a full tank. So right now we're under 50 to go. That window has opened up. The question is when they'll start to do that. Now we're only about 32 laps into this run here. You know, this is a definite time that we could be looking for someone to do an undercut. But I think right now you're going to see them probably try to look to stretch it possibly as far as the 120.
Trying to make the pass there was the 24 of Ollie Fonseca, which could be backfiring the 2. Danny Cochran's going to dive it down low. Not able to get to the corner. Going to be at the quarter panel, but what type of a run out of turn 4 we're going to see? And they're going to still stay side by side. That's a great run by the 2, Danny Cochran. Here in Fonseca, that's got to be kind of frustrating, knowing that he was on the outer lane, thought he was going to get the better run, but the 2 cleanly make the pass up to 3rd place now.
Yeah, look at this here. He's going to slide up in front of that 24. Great move by Danny Cochran there. And like you said, Sam, great run off of 4. That's something we haven't seen from that bottom lane able to do, is hold suit with that outer groove. And Danny Cochran there, patient on the throttle. That's the key here if you're going to want to make the bottom work. If you jump in that gas, get tight, and lose the nose of that race truck, you're not going to carry the speed down that front straightaway. You see now Ethan Smith, he's starting to just try to make something happen on Fonseca here. Also, is now Cochran up to the top 3. Only 2 more spots left for him to go if he wants to get that money.
Wants to figure out how to get that cash. And Ollie Fonseca, I got to be concerned about that 24. He was starting to drift back a little bit quicker than I was expecting, as drivers are racing on. Less than 50 laps to go. It's going to be that of Thomas Green, Trenton Jump, and as well going to be seeing that of Danny Cochran, Ollie Fonseca, Ethan Smith. But Ethan Smith wants to make a little bit of a difference here as he's in 5th place, trying to move up to 4th. Anthony Gaudio trying to go for one of his best finishes of the season for the 3. He's going to be just hounding and waiting on how the 00 and the 24 are going to react here at turn 2.
Yeah, Fonseca here starting to struggle late into the run here on these tires, dropping back. And right now, everybody trying to go by on that inside line. We'll see what does Gaudio do. Does he try to push the 24 past the 00 to try to make the move, or does he follow the 00 through here? It looks like that's going to be the case here as he holds the bottom lane here now to the inside of the 24, as Smith is now past that 24 up into the top 4 here. The 3 going to try to break into the top 5 for the first time this season. Could that 3 get his first top 5?
Trying to finally crack in and say, I'm here finally, as the 3 has been waiting. But also, Cody Reed, another driver that's been running quite well for himself for the 25. Curious on how well he's thinking about making these moves. But, you know, as we've been watching this race, I was even thinking about it halfway through stage 1. Driver that I'm keeping my eye on, he's inside of the top 5, Ethan Smith, and that 00. I don't know why. It's just giving me sensations of, you think back to last season at Nashville Super Speedway where it came down to a gutsy call, taking tires, only 2 tires, and it worked out for the 0-0. Ethan Smith, who's known for taking risks in 4th place, he's looking fast. I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks about trying to do something a little bit spectacular for our leaders. But speaking of our leaders, we got to move up to 2nd. There's some lap traffic that is beating and banging in right in front of Trenton Jump, and as well that of Danny Cochran, giving an opportunity here for the 2 as Isaac Shelley, GT Rizzari, they don't care that they're a lap down. They're keeping it close, and there's a dive bomb move, almost 4 wide down into turn number 1. Jump, trapped, and lingers, and now going to be stuck behind the 14. Giving a little bit of a bump to Rizzari through 1 and 2.
Oh man, he thought about making it 4 wide there. He saw that hole close very quickly. Good call by Trenton Jump there not to make that move and got out of the gas. That could have been a huge moment between these guys. Oh, he gets a little bit tight here. Is Shelley right on the door of the 46. This is really letting that top 2 break away. Cochran now gotten past that 14, like we said there after turn 2. He's trying to catch up to Green, who has really been trying to scamper away as these guys have been battling this lap traffic.
Lap traffic, you know, it sometimes can be the biggest advantage and a disadvantage if you're not careful. And as well, drivers are coming into pit road. Ollie Fonseca has come in this to go around, which now the rest of the field, they got to be thinking about when do you come in and how much of an advantage do you want to be giving away to some of these drivers?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question here. When do you want to come to pit road? It's going to be near that lap 40 mark. This is kind of splitting it where I feel like this may be the optimal place to come down here. But you don't want to come down too early either. You're going to be waiting really on the majority of this field around him. Fonseca, though, was struggling. He had no doubt but to come down here and try to make it to the end of this race on Saturday.
Zach, I kind of want your perspective on this for some of these drivers that are racing as hard as they are. Lap traffic. Some are going to be on fresh tires, others are going to be on those of older ones. As the 20 going to be that of Jesse Thornick's going to be on the freshest tires, trying to carve his way through this field. Then you've also got that of Shelley and GT Rizzari that are going to be on older tires that everyone's trying to put a lap down. I mean, how would you prefer having this lap traffic get out of the way potentially, or are you liking the fact that they're still battling as hard as they are?
Yeah, you know, if you're on a different set of tires, personally as a driver, I would rather you go around than ride on my back bumper. So if you're faster as a driver, you're going to want them to get by. But when you're running a little bit slower than that lead lap car, you're hoping they give you that groove. They give you the preferred groove. And also, they don't hang on the door. You know, as a lap car, there's times where you could hang it right on someone's door, make it a lot harder to pass. And it can make their day a lot tougher there. And that's why we're seeing a little bit of separation here as, you know, GT trying to hang on here as best as he can, running as fast as he possibly can to hold on to this position. You know, no wrongdoing in his own, but he's staying on the quarter panel here with these guys, and it's really slowing them down on these straights, and that's where it makes it tough for these guys that are dealing with lap traffic right now. And it's definitely, you know, it's a gray area. You know, some drivers frown upon it, some drivers don't. They, you know, every lap you go out there and drive for yourself sometimes, and you know, it's NASCAR. That's part of what you got to deal with is that lap traffic.
Deal with the lap traffic and just continue to see who's going to get up front moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, that's what we're seeing Jesse Thornick, who's got fresh tires, new tires on the truck. And speaking of new, can't wait to talk about him more here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting throughout the rest of the year. New partnership joining up with us at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. iRacing iFlag just over the weekend, partnering up with us. We cannot wait to give out more shout outs, discount codes. It's an exciting partnership. Now, oh no, there's Trumpu. Going to be contact between himself as well as that of John Forbes. Holds on for now. Woo, that could have been the caution that a lot of these drivers were hoping for. But again, big thanks to the iRacing iFlag for joining up with us here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. More news to be talked about more as the weeks go on. But excited to see how this first quarter of the year went for us at Freaky Fast based on viewership. Second quarter of this year, it's starting off pretty high here in April, coming up to May.
Yeah, it definitely has. So it's been a great time here. Great partners are for him. But look at this. It's pit time. Danny Cochran in the 2 machine. He's going to lead him down. Anthony Gatto going to follow him suit there as they're going to be hitting pit road. He's rolling the dice here, trying to hit Snake Eyes.
Trying to see if he can somehow find a little bit of luck as the 3 as well going to come down into pit road. See if anything else can be given, but I also don't want to slide through your pit box. Don't want to get caught speeding. All these mistakes could throw away any opportunity of trying to get a win here. As up front, that Thomas Green, Trent Jumps continue to stay on. Nathan Smith's going to be coming into pit road, but Zach, it's just a lot of drivers hoping they don't make mistakes.
Yeah, mistakes can happen for sure. And one of the drivers to do it, John Forbes in the 11, he slides a little bit through his box, so possibly not putting himself in the best position to go for that 4-peat here as they look to James Lowe. He's up to third now in this machine here as he's actually got his teammate Trevor Earhart there on the outside of their battle for that position. But jump in green still yet to pit. How long will they wait? I think they're coming this time. At least it does look. Yes, they are. Here they come. And same with James Lovin in the 56. Our top three hit pit road with Trevor Earhart staying out.
Earhart stays out. Ollie Fonseca going to be the first driver of those that were in our top 10 to come into pit road. And that was about 7 laps ago for the 24. So watch out what the gap's going to be between himself and Danny Cochran. That's going to be what we're watching out for. Is Trevor Earhart still out on track. Same goes for that of Freed and that of Rochelle Pooler and that of Morales Jr. going to be those drivers in the top 5. Alex Light, as well as a couple of other drivers, still need to come to pit road. But our top 6 still are the ones we're watching out for. Here comes our leader, Trevor Earhart, into pit road.
Here he comes down the pit road for the final time tonight for that 41 machine. As we look back here, the 17 of Talmadge trying to get by there, along with the 2 of Danny Cochran there. This is going to be an interesting little battle here. And look at this Talmadge covering off the 2 there. Cannot hold him up there enough as he's going to be trying to hold him up there, I believe, for his teammate Thomas Green. But the 2 of Danny Cochran is going to make that pass quickly. And it's all going to be about that pit sequence. Who got on and off the pit road the quickest? We're going to see what type of gaps we have.
A lot of sportsmanship over the radio is going to be seeing the 96 now into pit road as a cluster of drivers following behind. But I got to say, big kudos to Talmadge that automatically went, say sorry, thought you were going to go even higher. Didn't mean to block the 2 on the corner, trying to get by our leader of Freed, who's now in pit road. Going to get service done as Kyle Rochelle Pooler still out on track. Same for that of Martin Morales Jr. But for now, going to be seeing Ollie Fonseca still leading over Danny Cochran by about 4.3 seconds. But that gap is dwindling quickly. And as well, going to be looking all the way down to that of Green and Jump. They're mired back. The difference is going to be massive for them. Watch out for a yellow flag waves. This changes everything.
And Thomas Green is involved in it, and I tell you what, just seems like some miscommunication trying to come down the pit road between the 14 GT Azari and man, oh man, Thomas Green there getting a piece of that, sending him spinning around, and this yellow is going to change everything. GT Irizarry
just completely was being over aggressive at times, I think, for some drivers' mentalities, but missed coming into pit road, and Absolute just came up in the middle of the track and nowhere for anyone to go, bringing out our 6th caution of the night, 5th on track incident. And oh man, that is not the cleanest way for this race to get our 6th caution of the day.
Yeah, and going back and looking at it myself, just, oh man, just lost that truck as he went in the pit road there. That was definitely an awkward situation there for him. It looks like he caught the apron, and while he was braking, it just shot him up the racetrack. Unfortunate circumstance there, but wow, it's gonna change the whole aspect of this race here. And now, what's the question? What they do here, pit strategy wise? Because a few guys here, they played some pretty good calls here. Kyle Rochelle in the 21, do you want him?
Rochelle's gonna have damage. Fuller as well is gonna have damage, but this is now gonna put drivers again. Those that are coming into pit road, they're gonna have the freshest tires, and they're going to be feeling good for themselves. Everyone else that had already come to pit road that was a lap down, they're going to have to take a wave around. They're going to be stuck with older tires comparatively what we're going to be seeing the 4 drivers that were still out on track by the time that yellow came out.
This is going to be wild to see, man. We got Fonseca there still staying out, like we said there, on the tires, and he's going to have the oldest of the drivers who pitted there, about 108. So he's going to be pretty big difference there for him, because you're gonna look back to Danny Cochran there 114, so 6 laps difference there. Then it's gonna be about 2 laps difference there between Thomas Green and also Trenton Jump there compared to Danny Cochran. So they went 2 laps later. This is setting up to be a wild ending here, Sam. And I tell you what, that caution there has really shook the whole projection of this race up, because if I'm Danny Cochran, I got to be a little bit upset possibly by that. He had a sizable gap where he got in and out of pit road very well, and Trenton Jump and even Thomas Green were going to be stuck in traffic battling Gaudio in that group there as they got jumped by him. So Danny Cochran was sitting in a good spot. This caution though puts him in a little bit of a less advantageous position here with those fresher tires behind him.
We're gonna have to wait and see how the drivers are gonna be cycling through on this, but the drivers that are gonna have the freshest tires are gonna be that of Kyle Rochelle, Carl Pooler, as well as that of Martin Morales, Alex Light, as well as Jared Talmadge. Gonna be those drivers currently mired in that 14th back to 18th. And we saw that, you know, with fresh rubber, you can fly through this field. But that was when we were watching Denny Cochran and other drivers that had about a 20 lap difference between those rubbers. This is only going to be about a handful of laps between themselves. So it's going to be a little bit different, but still any advantage is nice to have.
Yeah, no doubt indeed. It's nice to have any little bit of advantage you can have over your competition. I don't think the 2 to 3 laps difference is going to be a game changing ordeal or nothing. I think early in the going it's going to show a little bit, but as the longer we go, those tires will start to even out a little bit more and really start to play back into a pretty much dead even race. But Fonseca is the one I'm going to worry about the most. He's definitely got the most sizable disadvantage there with about 8 laps all the way back to Ethan, Thomas Green and Trenton Jump.
Yeah, it's good to be seeing Fonseca as well as Logan Breaky going to have some of the oldest tires on track for those that are up inside of the top 20 as the drivers getting set and ready for themselves here. And also gives us time to talk about another one of our sponsors, that at ButtKicker. ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. If you want to get yourselves ramped up, hearing the sounds, you know, you'll love to hear those engines rumbling in your ears. Well, why not get yourself a game or two and feel the rumblings of the engine, as well as feel whenever you're getting loose, tight, whenever there's a sound, you'll be feeling it for yourself. Get yourself a game or two. Use our promo code FreakyFast20 for 20% off at ButtKicker when you're purchasing. Thank you so much to ButtKicker for being one of the longest sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And as well for these drivers, they're stacking up, they're getting ready to go. Zach, what are some of the keys that you're expecting here for the final less than 30 laps to go here at Las Vegas?
Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, we're going to have to see who can get to that top spot at the right time. It's all about timing. When does the tire wear start to really even it out and make that bottom line unpassable? So we're going to have to see who is in that right position at that right moment, because I believe whoever that is going to be in the catbird seat to really determine and dictate how this race plays out. We'll see who can get it done. Thomas Green there looking for that first win in that 15. He's been so strong all night. We've seen him getting them elbows out. I wouldn't be surprised to see them out one more time.
The sun is set. These drivers are ready. The lights are out. And it's time to see how they're going to be able to run here at Las Vegas. It is the welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150 here for the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series, race number 9 of Season 2. It's been a spectacular one so far, but who's going to win here at Las Vegas? Last time these drivers were here at Las Vegas, it was under controversy. Will it strike once more as the pace car is off? We are green, and that of Ali Fonseca with a great launch for himself. But watch out for Danny Cochran as well as that of Anthony Gaudio is, oh boy, they're going to get a little bit friskier behind them.
Yeah, Ethan Smith putting the block on that 15 machine, and here goes the 15 to the inside, trying to use every advantage he can here. He's going to have the run on the 3-2. Does he make it 3 wide? Yes, he does here, going straight to the bottom here. Danny Cochran, they're going to have to cover all this off.
And he does, coming straight down, going to do a little bit of a late block. Thomas Green, though, we saw it last week at Bristol Dirt, willing to get aggressive, bounce off one another, and he's willing to make any types of moves possible. But down to the inside, Ali Fonseca, the sitting duck, he tried his best, but no longer. Danny Cochran taking the lead, but for how long? Because here comes the 15.
The 15 getting real aggressive here. He knows this is time to go, but the same it's got to be on the mind of the 2 of Danny Cochran. Here's the 15, gets to the bumper. He goes to the inside. Cochran, though, going to really get right close to him on entry here as they follow each other through 3 and 4. It's side by side off of 4.
He's got to get right onto the corner panel. He's got a side draft for himself, but watch out. Here comes the 46. He's going to force it 3 wide back for 3rd. It's Trent Jump. He doesn't want to give up on this race either. It was Jump and Green battling for so many laps, and here we go. It's on. Trent Jump is caught up to our front 2.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think where Green was the one that showed the advantage was in the long run. Here he goes 3 wide. Jump going to the bottom. It's going to be 3 wide on entry here for the lead.
They've out beating off one another, that of the 46 and the 15. Here they come out of the corner, and just like that, Danny Cochran thought of Green into the wall, and you knew it was going to happen. You had a feeling it wasn't going to stick for that Trent Jump, and now the field clustered up. It's a hornet's nest on who's going to survive. Out of there, going to be 2, 3 wide, almost 4 wide, and Green's blinking issues for the drivers, and Gaudio's losing speed as well.
Oh no, this is definitely set up for some unfortunate circumstances for a few drivers. There's Gaudio losing out in there. Reed, though, the one that wins out big there in the 25, as he slides himself up into a top 3 position after his second place finish at Bristol Dirt. Reed continuing his strong run here early.
Danny Cochran, too much damage for himself. The two immediately ducked it down onto the apron to get out of the way for the rest of the field. As we're going to continue to watch these drivers. There's Trevor Earhart. Earhart's going to be the driver to watch out for. Same goes for that of the 17 of Jared Talmadge. Freshest tires goes to the 17 on track. He's flying. And right now, looking at the pace that the 17 is putting on that last lap compared to our leaders, going to be about 2/10 off, but he was mired in the field that had to really check up coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, now making the big move here to the inside of Anthony Gaudio. Talmadge here showing up late here. Maybe made the right call here. Lap 120 to hit pit road. And right now making that pass on the through machine. Next up for him, it's going to be that 11 of John Forbes, that 3-time in a row winner here. Now, here goes the 17 once more getting down to 3, trying to crack his way up into the top 5.
I mean, you got a feeling for Jared Talmadge, this is going to be feeling like redemption after watching his teammate get wiped out there of a 3-wide battle that just did not stick. Well, now it's time for the teammate of Jared Talmadge to come back and now cracking the top 5 for the 17. His goal, figure out how to catch up to Trent Jump. It's less than a second now, but he's got 3 trucks before he can get up to that 46.
Yeah, definitely still going to have to continue that run that he needs to do to get up to that 46. But now, you can see he's worked his way up to the back bumper. It's going to be the 00 first, then Cody Reed, then Fonseca. These 3 all battling. Fonseca, they're holding on well in the old tires here, but it's going to be the 17 Talmadge dropping it low on the apron. Now going to elect to go high, but I think he's going to want to go back low for those old tires up top.
Yeah, he's going to want to do that, but if anything, watch out for Ethan. There it is. The contact's going to be made, and the 24 holds on somehow for Fonseca. And you got a feeling that we were going to see some type of arrow push, and it happened there for a quick second. And you hate to see it happen for the 24, but luckily held on. Going to be still in top 10. Ethan Smith's now going to give that position, and just like that, in 1 lap, that's 2 positions for Talmadge.
Talmadge making up big time here now. Cody Reed next up in his list. Can he get it done quickly? Because what he's going to need to before these tires start to even out as he's making the run and charge through the field up to second now here possibly as they exit off of 2. It's still going to be side by side. Can he get it done down in the 3 though? That's going to be the question because now he's going to have the chance to run down Trent Jump.
Big thing about fresh tires, you can carry so much more speed through the corner, and that's where you see the center of the corner run for the 17. He's clean, he's clear, and now the 17 is going to find himself with 0.8 seconds the difference between himself and Trent Jump. And Jump's goal, just continue to pull away if possible, but you look at the difference. It's been all Talmadge gaining time on the 46, even going through traffic. This is going to be his first real clean lap, trying to see if he can run down the 46.
Let's see what he does here lap time wise to see if he can track down this 46 machine. And right now he's within the draft range, so he should be getting a good little tow from this far back and not too bad of dirty air. We'll see what he can do. Is now you're gonna see, oh no,
goodness, no, purposely wrecking him. Oh my goodness, what in the world? Trent Jump, for the second time he's been dominating a race, gets taken out, but he's not coming back from this one.
Oh no, that is not what you want to see. And Trenton Jump once again taken out from the lead.
And just like that, we stay green. The contact, the driver got sideways. Danny Cochran purposefully wrecking out the leader, in yellow flag waves with Trent Jump purposely bringing out the yellow.
Yeah, this is gotten a little bit ugly here, guys, for sure. No doubt indeed. And that is not what you want to see there, and that's going to definitely be a lot of talking points here leaving tonight.
It's just like that. It is 2 very ugly moments striking in a row. I mean, you understand where Danny Cochran's feeling frustrated, but that is one of the trashiest, dirtiest ways to get back at someone when it was just a gutsy move going 3 wide and you knew it wasn't going to stick, but that is not the way that you retaliate at someone. Green flag racing, you just take that L and you get them next week.
That's definitely I gotta completely agree with you there, Sam. That was not good indeed at all to see. And yeah, we'll have to see what comes from that.
And with the fact that Danny Cochran had a warning last week with not slowing down in an avoidable wreck, most likely the two is going to be suspended for a race, if not more, after that incident. And honestly, I would say he should be suspended for at least 2 to 3 races. That is a dirty move. And yes, it is Trent Jump, who has been involved in a lot of controversy earlier in the season, but that is not the way that you clean that up, and we are sorry for showing that. That is probably one of the dirtiest ways that you could get at someone. And for Danny Cochran, he needs to be parked, and he is done for the day. As we'll reset, figure out where we're going to go from here, because now we've got a cluster of drivers that did not have any more fresher tires. They're going to be up front. That is going to be seen. Christopher Norris, Carl Pooler, that of Tribute, Tamer, also going to be seen. That of the 91. Madam Martin Morales Jr. going to be your top 5. Then I talked about it, thinking about strategy calls. Ethan Smith, Cody Reed, 2 tires for that of the 00 and the 25. Then you got 4 tires from 8th on back, starting with Jared Talmadge.
This is shook everything up. Now we're going to see how this all plays out now in the last portion of this race. I mean, Christopher Norris now with the lead, but he's going to be sitting there on lap 121 tires. And, I mean, looking back there, always Ethan Smith there, the first truck. Yeah, this is shaping up to be a wild story, Sam. That's no doubt indeed, man.
Well, Trent Jumps out of it. That of Thomas Green's out of this. Danny Cochran's out of this. I mean, you look at some of the favorites, they are no longer going to be favorites up front. Ethan Smith's been up there, as well as Cody Reed's been up front for majority of this time. Jared Talmadge fell back, then started to make a move forward. John Forbes was running back in 11th for the majority of this race. He's now going to be in 10th, but fresh tires are expecting him to move forward. I mean, Isaac Shelley, who was involved in an earlier wreck, the 98, who got the pole award, he's going to be back in 16th, but potentially could get some good positions here. I mean, this has changed everything. When you thought we were going to make the picks on who's going to win this thing, it is now all over. It's now on who's going to survive the end of this race, as we're coming closer and closer to 10 laps to go. Pacing here, and Zach, I mean, it's just going to be constant shaking of our heads here for what we just saw there on screen to bring out this yellow.
Yeah, Sam, I'm lost for words, man. You know, it's not often you see something like that happening. You know, especially, you know, the way that went down. You know, I cannot condone that one bit at all myself, man. I just don't enjoy seeing that stuff.
Well, the drivers, all they can do now is just reset. We hope that we don't see any more intentional wrecks going on, as the drivers that were beating and banging with one another are now in pit road. Now leaves us with the rest of the field. Who's going to get a win? Will we see John Forbes somehow pull out a miracle and get his 5th win of the season? Could we see a new winner come out here? As with Danny Cochran out of this race, there is now no longer the only driver that still has an opportunity for that of the MoCast. Believe is going to be that of Isaac Shelley in 16th, and as well Eric Stamp in 18th, but they're both heavily damaged. It's not going to be it's going to be very difficult for either one of them to try to win that $25. Most likely, that's going to be reset for the next time that there's a MoCast 5 event going on. For the drivers up front, again, are going to be our top that of 5. Going to be drivers on older tires compared to the rest of the field.
This is going to be an interesting restart, Sam. This is, you know, not something we didn't want to see. You know, it's not something we want to see there happen, of course, up front. But, you know, nothing we can do up here from the broadcast booth. We just got to enjoy what we got here now in front of us with Carl Poole or Christopher Norris starting on this front row. Let's see what they can get done, man. If Christopher Norris can come out and get a win, what a story that would be for this 54 machine.
Well, we've already seen what it's like to have 2 drivers on old tires fall through the field. Well, let's try 5, as they're going to be struggling to stay up front, but you're going to do every single thing possible. Also, we'll see how the driver is going to be able to try to hold off from making any contact with one another. Will we see overtime, or can we stay green? That's going to be the question for the drivers here tonight. You are watching the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series Season 2, race number 9 here at Las Vegas for the Welcome to the Incredible Las Vegas 150. And it certainly has been incredible, memorable, and dirty at times, but we're ready to go green here in Las Vegas. Hopefully what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, as we are green. Christopher Norris brings us to that, going down into turn number 1.
Great start from Norris there to get the early jump. Multiple car leaks now. Carl Pooler's teammate going to pull down to hold that second spot. Now it's Kerry Trabu going to try to make that move. Also, Jason Taylor. So many drivers up here trying to have great runs here at the end of this race. We'll see what happens, but Ethan Smith going to be that first one on new tires up top in that 0-0.
Remember, Ethan Smith's going to be having just 2 tires. He did not go for 4. The first driver with 4 fresh tires is going to be 17. That's going to be Talmadge, and Talmadge already sneaking down low. He's in the better positioning. We're going to go 4 wide, battling here, and there they go. They're wrecking. They will launch straight, but for how long they continue to stay straight? We stay green. No, they're wrecking behind.
Oh, and gigantic wreck here once again, and everybody piling into this one. And, oh, no, this is not what you want to see here coming down to the end. Christopher Norris, though, he's probably going to enjoy that there. That's going to help him out a little bit.
And just like that, you had a feeling with it being so many drivers on older tires, drivers are going to have to go so many different directions to battle around. And just like that, another wreck comes out. The big one strikes here late. And, you know, Zach, I mean, that's what happens when you got drivers with older tires and drivers that know there is nothing you can do. You got to be aggressive here late.
Yeah, definitely got to be aggressive there late, and that was a wild incident there. That was just the way it all worked out there with that is interesting to see because Ethan Smith there involved in that. I mean, Carl Pooler, I don't know how he saved all that, but I think it all started. I think the 41 of Trevor Hart got a bump from the 3 of Gaudio, and that kind of all transpired there, catching everybody all up in that major incident there.
And that's going to be about 3 or 4 drivers from this incident that now are going to be given that of required damage. Going to have to come to pit road. Joshua Freed, Anthony, that of Gaudio, as well as Bogan, Tamer, Freed, Jump. Were already in there, as well as Thomas Green. There was a couple of drivers that were already in pit road trying to get those damage repairs, but added collection is now growing, which is now giving a little bit of chances for the drivers up front, again, to reset, try their best. But oh my goodness, this is getting ridiculous at times. But now, I mean, who's going to come in and potentially try to take tires now if you're going to be having to reset, get damage repairs now?
Yeah, this race, you never know what you're going to get on Monday nights. That's one thing I always say. But man, I'm every turn of the book here now is going to be a little bit unexpected for sure, and this is setting up to be another wild finish here again. I mean, you gotta think Norris is in a good spot, but Talmadge, he made a good time there to get the 3rd here. Now going to be able to restart on the brand new tires right behind Norris. And personally, if I'm Norris, I might look to take that outside line to put Talmadge behind the 10 here. Maybe try to let Cody Reed get side by side with him there, give him a chance. That's got to be possibly something that's going through the mind of the 54, but also a lot of nerve has got to be going through the mind of the 54. He's not been in this position before. This is his first chance to get this victory, and a lot of things run through a driver's mind when it's at these moments.
Yeah, it's man, I'm just looking at this field again. Top 11 are still out on track, able to be raceable at the moment. Now, winnable, that's a different story, but raceable, top 11 are still out on track. Everyone else in pit road, they're getting back out on service, but this is a wild end of this race for these drivers. Those 11 drivers to watch out for: Christopher Norris, that of Kerry Tamer, as well as that's going to be that of Jarrett Talmadge, Cody Reed, John Forbes, Kyle Rochelle, Ollie Fonseca, that of Alexander Light, James Loveland, Eric Stamp, and Tyler Dingler are going to be those 11 drivers that are still looking raceable right now. And for some of these drivers, this is going to be their best finish of the season potentially, with the fact that so many big runners and drivers that were looking like they were going to finish up in the top 15 were wiped out of that wreck. This is now reset, given life to some drivers that really needed some big points here today.
Yeah, it's definitely given life to a few of them for sure. I mean, it's opened up the door for all these different things, and man, if you're limitless, you're looking pretty good. I mean, unfortunate for Carl Pooler there with that contact that pushed him out of the top 10 there, now back in 12th. But I mean, he could have been turned backwards and been really in the a bigger wreck than what we've seen right there before, and he somehow saves that. It did cause the check up everything there, but man, gotta give credit to Carl Pooler there, who's possibly going to look to get back in the top 10, and he hasn't been out there in a few weeks too, so he's going to need some points to make him his way up that standings list.
As the drivers wait for the pace car lights to go off, I mean, if Zach, this has been a wild one for sure. Not the race that we wanted. Again, we're hoping this whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I think for a lot of these drivers, they can't wait for what comes next. just clean up the racing. But it doesn't get easier from here on the schedule. Next race for these drivers, Dover. And Dover certainly can get these drivers a little bit more riled up than I would say Vegas can get some drivers riled up.
Oh, no doubt indeed. Normally Vegas is a tame place, but with the influence of pack racing, the way we've seen it here in iRacing lately with the oval side of things, it stacks everybody up on top of each other, and you get these things, and man, frustrations boil out, and yeah, that's frustrations you don't want to see boil out though, for sure. You want to see those things, handled off the racetrack, and it's unfortunate that's really upset the whole picture of this race. But now it's put these guys, a few guys like we said, that weren't having great nights in good positions. I mean, Kyle Rochelle, he's back in sixth. He was in an early wreck with their major damage, him and Gregory Shaw. He's making it now, possibly going to get a top 5.
Yeah, you got a lot of drivers that are looking for their first top 5 potentially here. As again, we get ready to race. It's our top 11 that looked raceable, but there's plenty of others that really get back out on track. Christopher Norris, that of Tribune, Talmadge, Reed, Forbes going to be your top 5, with that of Kyle Rochelle, that of Fonseca, Light, Loveland, Stamp, and Tyler Dingler going to be those 11 drivers to watch out for. But you look at the field, we've only got about that of our top 18 that are still out on track, going to be on the lead lap. Everyone else still in pit road getting damage repairs. It's been a wild one here at Vegas. Only race number 9 of the season. We still got a little bit more regular season racing action before we get to playoffs, and the drama has thickened for these drivers. Welcome to the incredible Las Vegas 150, and welcome to the final 6 laps here at Vegas. Who's going to get it done? Who knows? But Christopher Norris is on the lot pedal, and he is gone already.
Great start again from Norris here. Let's see what he's got. He's going to be coming to 5 to go, and they cross the line next time by. Trabu, though, holding up this 17 here as they get up to speed. We'll see. Does the tires make it work here off the corner, though? It's Reed pushing that 17 down the back straightaway. What does Norris do here? He's going to cover him off here as they come to his back bumper here on the entry of 3.
And that is a great block there from Christopher Norris, but for how long can he really defend from the 17 who's got the fresher tires? A little bit of side damage going to be for the 17, but here comes Cody Reed. Reed and also Christopher Norris. A little bit of history between those drivers. We'll see how our leader in 3rd place can run. Well, there we go, 3 wide. Well, let's send it. There goes Cody Reed on the apron. Contact, pushes up to 54, but there's going to be more contact. There goes Lieutenant Tribune. He holds on, stays straight for our leaders. We stay side by side. Green flag stays out, and it's going to be that of Tamer holding on. I mean, that of Talmadge for now, but here comes Norris fighting back on the inside.
Here they go. They'll be coming to 4 to go this time. Tamer in the Talmadge up in the advantageous position here as he takes the lead here with 4 to go. It's going to be Cody Reed now looking to the outside of that 54 machine as the 3 trucks have broken away. It's going to be John Forbes back there battling Rochelle and Loveland.
And now it's on Christopher Norris. Does he just let Talmadge go, or will he let Reed give it an opportunity to race for a win? 4 laps to go, and here comes Reed. A little bit of side drafting, trying to also get the draft of the 17 down into turn number 3. And right now, Norris hurting that of Cody Reed, but Reed finally gets the run out of the corner. Now it's on the duel. Who's going to get it done? Talmadge, Reed, or will he even stay green?
Will we stay green? That's the $1 million question here at Las Vegas, no doubt indeed. And right now, Talmadge out front, holding on strong, but Cody Reed, do not forget about him. He is right there, and in the catbird seat here is Ruby coming to 2 to go this next time by. Can Cody Reed make something happen here? It's early enough on the tires where side-by-side racing is easily done.
Cody Reed, he's finished 2nd last week at the Dirt. He finished 2nd at Watkins Glen. Will he be again his 3rd second-place finish of the season, or can he finally crack the win column? Jared Talmadge comes in needing to get a win, potentially to make it into the playoffs, and he's looking for a solid night as well for himself. 2 laps to go out of turn 2. Zach Reed's only going to have 2 more opportunities, and Talmadge might have given him one.
Yeah, here he is. They're wiggling down the back straightaway here as they enter 3 and 4 for the penultimate time here tonight. Coming off of 4, though, not a run enough here yet for Reed as they're going to be coming to the white.
He's going to only have 2 more opportunities. It's your Fletcher Flores white flag here tonight, as we're going to be seeing that of Jared Talmadge, Cody Reed down into turn number 1. Reed, goal, just stay as close as possible and send it down into turn number 3.
Wow, look at this battle here. Can Reed make something happen here? Talmadge there covering off the inside. Does not want him to get to that low side, and that was a good call, I think, from that 17 machine. He covers it off, but here comes the 25.
He's going to be right on the back bumper. A little bit of contact. Wiggles. And there goes Talmadge. He wakes the move. Here comes on the inside. Cody Reed's trying for an opportunity. He spins up, but it's going to be Talmadge coming across the line.
What a finish there. Contact coming across the line, but Talmadge holds on to it, the 17 machine. He's going to get that first victory of the season.
If Cody Reed did not get just in the T-bone position, he could have spun Talmadge around and could have taken the win. But instead, Talmadge stuck onto that hood, never let go, and finds himself winning here at Las Vegas.
Wow, man, I tell you what, wild finish there. And wow, Christopher Norris there, who was coming across the line in white in third. He's going to end up finishing 8th. Looks like James Loveland going to bring it home in 3rd there for 21st and 3rd there. Wow, what a wild race, man.
Absolutely bizarre on how this race went. It is going to be a madhouse for the majority of the time, as went back actually looked like Norris got input in the wall, and that's why he fell back. So was not able to finish in 3rd place. He's going to get 8th. James Loveland sneaking away with 3rd place finish. And Jerry Talmadge, I mean, this race shrouded under controversy once again. Just like last season here, Zach, what happens in Vegas, it always seems to happen. We'll hope that it just stays here.
Yeah, we'll definitely hope it stays here, but unfortunately, Sam, I doubt that is going to happen, my friend. It's going to be a long week here for the league, and they're going to have a lot of talking to do for sure.
Might be just a long rest of the season. Jared Talmadge, though, gets to burn it down. Congratulations to the 17. Cody Reed comes away with 2nd place, and Loveland in 3rd. We'll talk to our top 3 here in just a few moments in the post-race show. Thank you for watching here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-race show of the NAISCC Race Car Graveyard Truck Series, and what a spectacular one it is. And we're going to have some drivers that might not have been involved with the incidences, but we'll get their thoughts on how the madness went down. 3rd place runner, James Loveland, we're going to bring him up in the booth to get his point of view of how this race went down. James, it's Sam and Zach up in the booth. A race that we're going to say shrouded under controversy with how this one went down. But third place for yourself, hey, that's not a bad way to come out of Las Vegas.
I mean, yeah, I'll take it. I don't even know how to describe tonight. It was up, down. I don't even know. I thought I had a winning truck. Trevor and I were running really well there at the end, and I don't know what happened up front there, but there was a wreck, a bunch of arguing, and I got I ran into John Forbes by accident. I apologize for that, but yeah, it cost me a little over a minute of damage, and I was just trying to survive at the end. But yeah, no idea how I got third. I really don't.
Zach, you there?
Oh, sorry guys, my bad. I just had so much going there, but James, man, what a run there! Always good on the long runs, man. We see you working your way up through, but just a wild night of racing here. I mean, how do you stay out of all the incidents that we've seen here tonight? It was a lot of missing, I'd imagine you had to do.
Yeah, I was definitely just I was letting the aggressive drivers go. I saw the guys taking it 3 wide, battling 2 wide constantly. I'm like, I just let them go and let them race, and they ended up wrecking each other, and I got free spots. So that's pretty much how it worked all night. And yeah, I just managed my race and tried to do the best I could. I needed a solid points night, so that definitely really helped for me.
It certainly does. And James, congratulations on your third place run. Before we let you go, though, the floor is yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to you guys as always with the broadcast. Shout out to the league. What a wild race. I don't even know how to comment about it. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to my team Morecast.
That's going to be James Loveland, going to be in the 56 machine, coming away with a third place finish. Congratulations on that, and good luck going into next week.
Thanks, guys.
Then we got second place runner Cody Reed, who did his best to try to go for the win. Just came up one position shy, but he certainly did throw everything out there. Cody and Sam and Zach up in the booth. Give us your thoughts on those final couple of laps and trying your best to get by the 17.
Man, he was fast. I knew I was faster. Like I was getting to him, but I just didn't know a way to pass him. I knew I was gonna have to move him. Um, my heart was beating so fast, like, and I also could not breathe the last like 5 laps. It was unbelievable. But I definitely would be up there if it wasn't for the accidents. Um, but I'm happy with another second place finish. That's 2 weeks in a row, third one of the season. I hope to get a win at some point.
Yeah, Cody, that's kind of where I was going with it, man. Third time you got a second place finish, 2 in a row now. I mean, you're on some type of a roll now, man. I mean, we're gonna head off into Dover. How do you feel like that fares for you? Because definitely looking trending upwards for the 25, definitely here in season 2.
I've never raced Dover. I'm definitely gonna have to log a lot of laps in this week. I'm gonna try to keep up the trend, maybe improve a little bit, just one more spot. Um, but again, I've never raced Dover. I don't know what to expect, but I think I'll do okay. Hopefully.
We hope for that as well. And Cody, before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout outs.
Like to thank my team. We got some good practice sessions in this week. The admins, just putting this whole thing together. It's awesome. You guys do great in the broadcast. My parents let me do this. The iRacing stuff helped me out a lot. So yeah, that's it.
That's going to be Cody Reed in the 25, coming away with his third second place finish of the season. But you know that win is coming. Congratulations again, Cody, on second place here tonight, and good luck going into Dover next week.
All right, thank you.
And now we go to Victory Lane, where we find that of Jared Talmadge, who finds his way being practically pushed to the finish line. Jared, I mean, it wasn't the way I think you planned on coming across the finish line, but man, give us your thoughts on those final 5 laps.
No, I won a race. Oh my god, I I don't know. I have no words. That was awesome.
Yeah, Jared, I'd say, man, congrats on getting the victory, buddy. I mean, you know, you also had, the incident, of course, that happened right in front of you. I mean, that's definitely going to be shrouded a little bit in this, but yeah, I mean, you were in a good position either way with new tires that are coming down to the end and put yourself in the right position there. I mean, how tough was that to hold off even Reed there coming across the line as he's beating off the back bumper?
Well, the one of those yells before the halfway, I stayed out to keep an extra set, and I think I fell away like 20th. And then I pitted early when the green flag pit stopped to just try and gain time. And hopefully stay on the lap as long as I could. Then we got a yellow, which played perfect. I pitted, I avoided that one wreck, and then I just pitted again, took my final set, and I was down straightaway damage because I think I got hit by somebody, and I was down like 3 or 4 RPMs, and it just bogged out at the end of the straightaway, and I don't know, I thought I was going to lose it there. It was really hard because he had a lot of show speed. He was definitely better than me on corner exit. I don't know. I just I don't know. I did it though.
I mean, Jared, you got pushed across the line. What was going through your mind though, coming out of turn 4, and you saw you were getting bumped, wrestled around, and somehow you were lying right on that hood coming across the line?
I thought I was gonna wreck because he got me loose off of 4, and then I saved, and he got to the inside. I was just trying to stay as low as I could, and we came together, and then we started spinning. I thought I was gonna lose it, then I saw the line coming, and I was just trying to hope I could stay ahead of him.
As we're actually watching the replay now in slow motion, we saw that you were getting aggressive there, Jared. And before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout outs, man.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I told you I wasn't gonna win a race, and I did. So I take that back. I'd like to thank my teammates Ike and Thomas and spotter / crew chief Alex, and you guys for putting out a broadcast. That was great.
That's going to be Jared Talmadge in the 17. He saw his teammate get wiped out in a controversial wreck, but comes back, redeems, gets the win for the team. Congratulations to Jared Talmadge, and good luck, Jared, going into Dover next week.
Thank you.
Well, Zach, I mean, this was not the race that we thought we were going to have here at Las Vegas. We knew we were going to see big wrecks. We knew it was going to be calamity, but this was how the race concluded, being spun around, pushed across the line. I mean, I think this really puts a lid on how this race really went.
Yeah, I think this image here we're seeing right now, it definitely does put a pretty much a cap onto what we've seen for the lead for sure tonight, and just overall racing. It was a lot of hard, aggressive racing out there. It was a lot of that between Thomas Green and Trenton Jump, and then just unfortunate contact between those two, and it takes the 2 out of Dan Cochran, and from there does what he does, and man, just a wild race overall, Sam. And I think all of us are kind of scratching our heads saying, did this really just happen?
Yeah, it feels like a fever dream right now, and it's crazy to think. But man, I think for the majority of these drivers, they're just happy that this race is coming to a conclusion. They can reset for Dover. But for the drivers that finished in the top 10, a wild one for themselves. Jared Talmadge able to come away with the victory for himself. Cody Reed going to get second, with James Loveland in third. John Forbes, who's been on a tear, going to finish with another top 5 for the 11. Going to be in 4th place. Tyler Dangler, top 5 for the 19. Congratulations for himself. Kyle Rochelle comes away with 6th place. Eric Stamp, 7th, with Christopher Norris couldn't find himself with the top 8 finish for himself. Alexander Light as well, a great finish for the 97. And then you find that a Tribune in the 10 for that 10 machine. The rest of the field, it's a gallery of what ifs, and oh my goodnesses, I think throughout the night, no one really expected this night to go up the way that it did. The big one striking late after a lot of intentional wrecking that happened there. We hope that this gets cleaned up. It's going to be a very long week, like you said, Zach, of the drivers getting set up. But what are some of your final thoughts before we finish out the night?
Well, definitely like you said earlier, hopefully what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. We're definitely going to be using that saying here for sure for the race here tonight, man. It's we had a lot of good racing, a lot of great racing going down, and just had a little bit of stuff that's going to shroud it in controversy, and definitely going to have, like we said, some talking points. So great racing nonetheless, and can't wait to head off to Dover next week where maybe we can get all this figured out.
Well, big thanks to all the major sponsors that helped this happen, as you just got to watch the NAISCC Track Racer Graveyard. That of the Race Car Graveyard Truck Series. This was a wild one here tonight. Did not expect for this race to go the way that it did. I'm still speechless as well. And for everyone joining us, thank you so much for sticking with this madness. But if you want more great racing, later on this week, Thursday, we're going to be seeing our drivers having a championship race. The Stars and Stripes Cup Series get to racing action, as they're going to be at Nashville Super Speedway. And if you want to see how this race is going to continue on, how is this series going to evolve after tonight's race, we'll come back Monday night. It is Dover, 170 laps. Who's going to survive at the concrete? We can't wait to see you then. For Zach Hall, myself, Sam Dyer, and for Robert Moyer, thank you for watching Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night.